And we are live with the masses. Good evening, Mark. Good evening, Jackie. How are you two
Hello,
doing?
hello.
Hello again.
Long time no see. Yeah, long time no see.
I know. Seemed like 2 seconds ago.
Yeah, all of a minute. I know why Mark took so long to get back on camera, though. I can guarantee you went to the toilet.
No,
Oh, bloody hell!
I went to get a banana.
I already had one of them earlier. A banana.
Fair enough. Well,
I'm
I
gonna get
assumed you was holding a different cylindrical object, but hey ho. Right. How is everyone in chat? I see we've got Philip, Sean, we've got Dave is in chat. I think I saw Natalie in chat as well. So yeah, good evening, people. How is everyone?
Hello, people. Nice to see you again.
Oh wow, hold on a minute. Why is that
Just
so?
watched one of your videos. I did. I had a banana. Oh, banana and custard. Well, nice, really tasty. Some of the basic things are the nicest.
Hi, Philip.
Right, I've got to locate some bloody bin bags. I'm
I was
sorry,
gonna
guys, I've had enough of you.
I
Got
was
bin
going to
bags.
pick it up and put some fresh cream over it, but couldn't
Nah.
be bothered.
Yeah, no, you're not fresh cream. I do like fresh
Hello, Susan.
It's just, I don't know. Fresh cream in coffee is really nice. Wow. Oh, yes, that is fit.
What's quality? Let's change that up a little bit.
How are you, Philip? Hope you're doing well.
Hi, Philip. Please don't forget to like the stream. Why?
Yeah.
No, I'm only kidding. Yeah, like it.
Well,
Otherwise there'll be trouble.
you don't have to like it. You can. All feedback's good feedback. It doesn't matter if it's positive or negative. You know, I'm easy. I'm relaxed. I don't care.
I'm saying nothing. Art.
So, what have you people been up to then? Last few days that I haven't seen you. Anything interesting?
Sleep in order.
I know you've been dealing with your snake, Mark. But
yeah, been sorting my snake out.
Very nice, very nice. Jeremy did say he's going to be joining in a little while, so
Hi, Aaron.
at some point.
Oh, hi, Aaron.
Mate. Yeah, hey, dude.
What's been going on with this? Forrest, have you been up to things?
Oh, you had a good day with your fishing trip, Aaron.
I know he still escaped the missus, though.
I'm not jealous.
Of course you are, you lying so and so.
Was that him out on the boat? Was it the other day?
Yeah.
Well, that it's got to be Brassic. Out in the sea in an absolute, well, not Brassic, Baltic, freezing. Just made me cold looking at it.
Poor Lisa losing her spiders, though.
Hi, Trond.
I've got to find these bloody bin bags.
Oh, good night, Trond.
Oh, Nitron.
All right, Nitron, buddy. Hi, bye, and all that jazz. Yeah.
Oh, my back. Oh, yeah, I've got news about it.
Yeah, Lolo, you had a good day, Aaron.
We've got some pairing to do tomorrow, so I'm looking forward to that.
Pairing, cool.
And I'll tell you, the only thing I'm looking for at sea, I'm not coming away with spiders unless it's a specific 2 spiders, and it has to be an adult female carapoensis, which probably aren't going to find, or an adult female sturmy, and that's it. Not looking for anything else, unless Luke has got any of his Salma Pierce that he had. Can't even think which one it is now. The one beginning with E.
E.
Yeah. Rubbish of names.
My head, I'm afraid.
The Ecclesiastes. The Amaraldus is all right, but I want the Ecclesiastes. But yes, the Salmon Pierce, Sturmy, or a mature female carapoensis that's ready to get 2 guys on the go. We will see. Yeah, there's 2 of them, Osmond, aren't there? Some funny old thing, that genus.
Oh, I know what I'll do. Put them together. Bugger it.
And good evening, Osman. Yes, mate. Oh, yes, and also the other thing I'm looking forward to getting hold of at Seas is Osman.
I got told I'm waiting for a letter to come. Basically, they refuse. They won't. Surgeon won't do my spine operation at the moment until my back gets even worse than it already is. It's bad enough, but he doesn't really want to do it because, from the sounds of it, it's not good.
No, right. What is that? The risk of the operation?
Because apparently I've got two conditions, but one I know about the sclerosis or whatever the hell they call it, and there's another thing going on with it because I keep catching the nerves, which I knew for a fact it's the reason why my legs give away or go numb on me or lock on me. And basically, he said when he looked and he checked my spine, he couldn't see anything, so he didn't think much of it. But then when he rang me up yesterday, he was like, actually, it's a lot more severe than you actually said. I'm like, oh, shit. Basically. So it doesn't look good. He doesn't really want to do it because it must be pretty bad. But I just need to get off. I just said, right, do you know what? Send me all in writing because I'm not going to bloody remember that. I've got a bloody brain like a sieve. So I'm getting it all sent out to me. So it's not good. And he said it is pretty badly curved as well. So it's like this is the thing that was annoying. I've been to the doctors a few times because I have problems. I've been asthmatic for years, even before I've had any of the animals. And he said that I had a chest X-ray, and he's seen one from as early as 2008. And he says, even on there, he says they could actually see the problems with my curve and my spine, but not a single fucking word was said to me. And I'm like, okay, that's really annoying. And that's what my surgeon said. But another thing that he said as well, the curve in my spine, I've probably had since childhood.
Oh, right, okay.
So it's like, oh.
Some things they do that with though, don't they? They it's like I know full well. Like I've got an issue with one of my legs from when I was doing rugby.
Yeah.
Rugby and martial arts for years and stuff, and it's just all the it's basically gone like a bit like a varicose vein, but it's up on the bone and stuff. It's weird, but they won't do anything with it until I've had a blood clot in it.
That's not fucking nice. That's fatal.
The fact of it is the valves haven't, they won't touch it. The only when you get a clot or a blockage there, that means the valves have gone. Whereas at the moment, the valves are giving way, so they won't do it until they've gone because
exactly. It's the same sort of
you
thing.
You can go and have it done privately.
That's it though. They'll wait till there's a major bloody problem before they'll do anything. Same as my back, as with you. They will not do anything until it deteriorates more, and it's like.
But
the stop that.
The private side of it. I mean, I have got cover through work, but it's just the fact that it doesn't bother me that much that I want to pay like 150 quid up front to then get it. I mean, they'll pay for the rest. I've only got to pay the excess, but it's just a case of there's other things, just in case something else goes wrong. You can only have a certain number of claims a year, so I might as well just wait till the end. Wait till the end of the year. When I haven't had a claim for the whole year, then just do it right last knock-ins before they renew the year.
I've had 2 blood clots.
Yeah, not great.
Noise.
No.
The last one put me in hospital.
Are you on blood thinners though, Mark?
Yeah, I'm on warfarin.
Yeah,
they put me on the warfarin after the first one. And I said, you won't get another one. Year after, I got another one in the same spot that I had the first one. But then that broke away because it was in the back of my leg at the bottom. And broke away, went to my lungs, and I was in hospital for a week.
Yeah, they're lovely, aren't they, Osman? Very much like that. Let's see if we can get the other camera. Have a look at some of the spiders.
Welcome back, Ian.
You can't bloody win, I tell you. And Melissa's mum, she's in hospital. She's having problems with her what the hell do you call it? OCPD. Well, I forgot it. No, COPD. I always get it bloody mixed up with me. And she's got angina, problems with heart, angina, and what's the other thing? Pneumonia. So she's been in hospital for 2 weeks now, and mum.
No, bloody
Yeah, I've had that as well, pneumonia.
Yeah. So she's got that all on top. So
Now I'm just an old monia.
I'm single, girl. Right, better just get her food out, otherwise I'll just start bloody protesting this one. You know me too well, don't you, Forrest? Shall I get you food? Good girl. No, and the snakies are getting fed after. Oh. So yeah. Then Simon comes back moaning and he's like, "Oh, I've slipped on the ice." I was like, "Oh God, here we go."
Well, it could be worse. It could be me that slipped on it.
I don't know. He's complaining about his bloody wrists. It's just like, but he says, "Oh yeah, it's still moving." I says, "You do know if you fracture your wrist, you still can move it. That's a bloody bad myth when they say you can't move it. I moved mine and I put mine up big style." And it's
people always mistake that. You can break a pelvis and still walk around with it for a week quite happily. You'll be in a bit of pain. You think you've badly bruised it, but it depends how the break is. Sometimes people can break their femur and walk on it and not even realise they've broken their femur, and sometimes it will heal completely. And then someone will say, they'll go in for some other reason, have an X-ray, and they'll be like, "Oh, you do realise you broke your leg a few months back?" And they'll be like, "Did I?" It happens. I've seen people break their ankles, walk around quite happily on their feet for like days and stuff without things swelling up and everything.
The only bone I've ever broke is my one rib. And I've done that. I was lying down on the sofa and I started having a fitting cough.
Yeah.
you
And all
can
of
do
a
that.
sudden, me and Sandra heard it crack.
Ouch.
Yeah, it happens. It's they call it a stable fracture when you can basically support it.
Yeah, they wouldn't do nothing at the hospital for it.
They don't. Not with them.
Yeah.
But
Oh dear.
as well, I think your pain threshold can help as well. Sometimes people can feel it more than others.
Yeah, definitely.
Do you want this or not? Can we get it? Good girl. Good girl.
Why have you trapped yourself in there, you donut?
You
I only felt mine when I breathed.
Oh yeah, ribs are horrible to break, mate.
Yeah, I've heard that's meant to be pretty brutal. So,
Right.
get rid of the rubbish bin.
And the only other thing I break is wind.
Yeah, we know that.
Sorry, I've just noticed one of these spiders has decided to squidge itself down in between a piece of cork bark. I can't get out.
Oh.
Like a wally.
Oh dear.
Where are you going, dude? Come here.
You want this one? There you go. No. Look. That's my shadow. Look up here, you silly woman. No, don't go after the shadow. Forrest.
Right.
Not the shadow. Forrest, up here.
You want to see a beautiful coloured spider? This thing, it's hard to beat, honestly.
Whoops. Hey, lady.
Let's just get him on big screen.
Nice.
Oh, little pinky toes.
Oh, look at the colour on that.
Right, come here, little shit.
That abdomen's rich, isn't it?
Yeah,
You want that one?
sure is.
Good girl. One more.
Let's have a good look at it.
Because we'll have to get you some more. Oops. There we go. What's there? There it is. Get it. Good girl. Right, I've got to feed these guys.
What a beauty, eh?
Yeah, that is cute.
Hairs on its pedipalp and stuff like that.
Oh,
Oh, stunning. What's that one, Matt?
That's the Avic Morph 6.
Nice.
The old Avic Metallica. It's gorgeous, isn't it?
Yeah.
But this one, when I got it originally, the left pedipalp that's at the bottom was poking upwards like a Teletubbies aerial. It was snapped backwards, and it took about 4 molts to sort out. I've had this one since it was like a tiny sling, and it's now, well, it's in this setup here. So it's doing well.
Yeah.
But, should we give it some food? Let's give it some food.
Yeah.
Welcome back, Dan.
Oh, hi, Joe. No, I've got a few things.
I've got a spider coming.
Yep.
But I ordered it way before I set that GoFundMe up.
Right.
Yeah.
But it ain't been posted yet because of the cold weather.
Right. Okay.
But
Yeah, a couple of things.
yeah, if I'd have known what I know now, what's going on, I wouldn't have got the spider.
That's, well, you know, these things can't. Hindsight's always amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, I just wish, like, you know, I wish I could have found out sooner with things and,
Yeah.
you know, done what I could, like. And but it's like I say, I asked Jason about it about 3-4 weeks ago.
Yep.
So he just said he'll send it when it's warmed up.
Yeah, can't do much about that with the weather, can we? It's like,
No, I mean, I've got spiders myself to post out to people.
yeah, and I've got one to post to Steve, and it's like, got to sort that one out.
I've still got Aaron's. Still got to get his out to him.
Yeah,
but while we're having cold nights, you know, there's no chance I'm posting.
No.
Nope, it's not worth it.
The good thing is,
No.
Steve, like, he's pretty happy. He knows the score.
I just think
Well,
as long
the
as
same with Aaron.
before you're sending them out to, they understand. Simple as
Yeah,
that.
Aaron says, Lord, just do it when you can do it. But it's here for him anyway. Well, then waste no time with that.
Honestly, this spider's amazing. He's just so, like, he's got everything that you want on an Avic, and then he's got that butt. It's just beautiful colour, isn't it?
My Juvenensis is doing well.
That my one passed away, didn't it?
Oh, sugar.
Yeah, it was a shame.
It was really annoying because it was eating, and it was absolutely, like, smashing its food, and then the next thing you know, it's just it was on its food, and then I thought, okay, I'll leave the food in with it because it's on the food. And when I went back the next day, the food had started to, like, have that little bits of fur on it, and the spider was completely engulfed in the fur as well. So it obviously passed away on it, and just, you know, that fur stuff that comes on, like the mold stuff, just erupted all over everything.
Yeah.
Shame
that is. It's annoying as well, isn't it? Because if you're looking after them to the best of your ability,
the trouble is
you lose them.
Yeah, but the trouble is with slings as well, is with adults, you can normally get to it and sort of see something's not right and deal with it. With the slings like that, the food had been in there a day and a half, and because he was still on the food, I'm like, well, I'm not going to touch him because I thought he was eating, but I didn't realise he must have passed away on the food. And by the time you sort of go in there and think, okay, what's going on here? He's still on the food the next day. He's then covered in all that mouldy stuff, and it's like that stuff sets in so quick, and it's just a shame. Oh, look, here we go, a little happy dance.
Yeah, it's such a shame when it happens. Even losing slings, it's still sad.
He's cool, isn't he?
Right, lady, I'm sorry, I'm going to put this food away because you've had enough. Don't look at me like that.
Well, the good thing, Aaron, your spider is a nice size.
Oh, well, that's the other thing. That by the time I end up posting out to Steve, these slings I was going to put in there with it, they're not going to be blooming slings, I don't think. Yeah, it's
I
lovely.
see.
Isn't it? I think the thing is, it probably didn't need to feed in this one, but I knew it's been about 6 days, so I thought, oh well, I'll give him his food now. His butt's probably a little bit big, but he's not overly sized. He just won't get fed for a little while.
I have got no food in my hand. I've got no food.
But aren't they funny? They eat their food, and he was on that food for quite a while. Then he'll web round and web it all up, and they web it up and put the food in the web. And as soon as they've done it and completed that, they then turn around and get the food out of the web and eat it. It's like, what was the point? What was the point? I suppose they do it just in case they get disturbed in the wild or something, and then they have to leave the food and come back. Maybe, I don't know.
Security.
Are you going to Taunton, Aaron? Because if you're going to Taunton and you want me to bring it here for you.
Hey, Moon.
Hi, Moon.
Hi, Moon. Right, you. Come on.
I do prefer the old name of this spider, though, the Avic metallica. It would have. I wish they hadn't sort of reclassified it as a morph type.
Yeah.
See, with regards to the Avics, they don't seem to have, like, you see how fluffy this was around the tops of its legs where it connects to the carapace and those pedipalps, that fine hair. The Avics have it, but they don't seem to have it as much as this one, that's for sure. This one looks more like it has that Gerensis purpurea type fur on it, you know.
That's all right, Aaron. If you can't make it a show, mate, as soon as it warms up, I'll post out for you. I don't know. He's shouting, Ian.
Oh, he had uppercase one.
Oh.
He was pretending he was Michael.
Doing the Michael.
Yeah.
Don't even think you're getting any of these to eat, lady.
Oh, nice, Moon. Cheers, buddy.
Oh,
you'll be treated at the end of that video, that's for sure. There's a good little bit of footage on that, and I've got something good happening potentially at the moment. So I don't really want to make an announcement and sort of say this is happening, but just in case it doesn't. But if what is in the works comes off, it's going to be just literally the best thing that's happened to me in the spider hobby, period.
Oh, yeah. Fudge.
And I was absolutely buzzing when I've had the communication that I've had. There we go, moving again.
Right. What's over there? You're not having these as num-nums, lady.
I just love the fact you can leave the door of their enclosures open and they're absolutely fine, you know.
Unless it's a C versa.
Oh yeah. The thing is, the Verses, I've got 2 Verses, and one of them, in fact, I'll probably get to the Verse in a minute, but it's never ever tried to escape. And the other one that Caitlin's got, you take the lid off and it sits there. It'll come up to the lip, but it won't leave its webbing. It's really weird.
Well, that one's never done it before, and it was only because Sandra trying to clean that water open.
Yeah.
And the next thing I see is him walking across the ceiling. And I thought, you little bugger.
Yeah, they do that.
The other thing you normally find with them is you'd open up the door and it's the one time they decide to face away and just poop out at you.
Yeah. Oh, that was funny. That time my Rusty disappeared and we was watching the telly having a break and he just went walking across the telly screen.
Evening, Jeremy.
Hello, Jeremy.
Evening.
Oh. Hi, Jeremy.
How are we all? Sorry I'm late.
That's all right. No worries. Don't
It's all right. No problem.
Thanks, Susan. This is one of the most gorgeous spiders I own, I think.
Ooh, who we got here?
It's an Avic Morsic.
Ah, beauty.
Yeah, silly name, but
I've got my Minitrix adult female that molted out recently. She's a beaut.
Oh yeah, they're lovely spiders. I mean, there was a collection that came into the Bug Hut last year, and it had every single variation of Avic in the collection, and I just didn't have the money.
What sizes were they?
Sub-adult.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, they were big. The Papuri, the Durensis, they had the Avic, they had like, loads of them. Unbelievable stuff. I mean, who's got Echo?
Not me.
Hold on. Let me mute myself. Let me know if it's me.
Echo, Echo, Echo. It's Jeremy.
Fuck's sake. Sorry.
That's all right, mate. How you doing, Jay?
I'm not too bad.
I
Knackered,
love
but
how
I'm not
Jay's
too
like
bad.
really anonymous every time he comes because he's always in the dark.
Do you know what I am? Hold on.
Hi, Jay.
Hello, Jay.
Is that better?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you missed
Yeah,
it, Jay.
I can see you now.
I had the old macro lens out on this spider a minute ago. Yeah,
You little shit.
while it's staying there and it's not moving much.
You're not getting any of these.
Look at that.
Hi, Dave. Hi, Ian.
That is absolutely gorgeous.
It is, isn't it?
And some of the Avics that have been coming in recently are stunning.
Look at the little hairs on those legs.
Uh-oh. Wasn't clever.
I'm waiting to see what my little Mardi Gras one turns out like.
This one, Hirichi. Hirichi.
Oh, nice.
Oh, what's the one, Jeremy?
That's Avicularia Hirachi. Chill. 200. 200. God, 120 for a sling is crazy though.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah. Crazy money.
I like these ones though.
Right, that's enough of that one. Let's put it away.
Or Clapler? Alpa? I think Spa has those, don't they?
I don't know. I looked on their site.
Oh, I've got to just
I
perform.
get worried when I look on other sites. I start seeing stuff and it's like, no.
This poor
Can't
one
do it.
sort of ICU at the moment. Still, he keeps catching his legs. He's not doing great. This poor little thing.
Oh,
See the way he is at the moment. He can't release his front feet from here. He gets them caught on this bit. So I have to. I know it's a regardless, and it's probably not the most ideal thing to be doing with the door open, but you have to sort of give him a little bit of a. There you go. Come on, in this one. This is the one that's caught, isn't it?
Yeah, Dan, it is enjoyable watching them grow.
Right, go on, up you go. Go on. There's definitely something. I'm not sure which one is them, but come on.
maybe something like this. Yeah.
It's all right though. He's doing a lot better now than he was. So I'm not.
Yeah. It's,
Right, who's giving Echo this time?
Is it still me?
I don't
Should
know.
I leave and come back?
Have you got it playing on YouTube?
No. Hold on, let me leave and come back. Give me one second.
Well,
Hi, Maxie. Welcome to the chat.
Hi, Maxie.
Hey.
Nope. It's still Echo.
What's going on with you?
Oh, come on. I'm not to get any of this.
The thing is with that, regardless,
Are you gathered for magic? How are you?
it seems to not be able to open its front claws once it sort of grips onto something. So it's in an ICU setup at the moment. Well, I say ICU, right? So ICU isn't a thing here. What I mean is it's in a setup that's extremely basic. It's got cork bark and moist substrate at the base, and that's it. There's no fauna or anything like that. It's got a water bowl and that.
Any better?
Sort of, right.
No, I think
That's good, Maxie. Have you got any at the moment?
So versicola.
Right, Connor.
oh hi Connor. You little shit.
Hey, Connor.
Did you say, "Hey Connor, you little shit"?
No, I'm calling these little shits.
I know. I'm just trying to get in trouble.
You're a git. You're gonna get a thick ear.
Maxie, don't marry if you've only got 3.
You've got to start somewhere.
Yeah.
Here we go. Look,
The more you get into them, the more you want to get.
You want to come out? Come out and say hello. Here we go.
Oh, my back.
There you go, Mark.
Nice.
Cute.
Let's get the lens on that one.
I want a couple of you little ones. I'll bugger it. Get some of the little ones. Come here. You're not having any red runners, lady, and you definitely can't have that.
He's not getting fed. You probably can't see from here, but the abdomen is quite plump. Coloration on the carapace, though, something else, isn't it?
No, I.
It's how the hairs curl. So pretty.
Yeah, because they're not actually blue, are they?
No.
It's the light refraction. Yeah.
Come here.
See, to me, they never really look blue anyway. It's more like a, what do they call that colour? Verdigris?
A little bit. Yeah, it's a little bit.
Blue.
Yeah. Almost. Stunning, isn't it? This spider's behaving very well. I've got this camera about a centimetre from its face.
Oh, I love some spiders, how they just put up with the camera being in the face, especially when I have them in my light box. They're just like, how are you still staying still? You please do not move. You're in a perfect
Webbing.
position.
Hello, spider.
Hello, Leo.
Yeah, another little gorgeous one.
Welcome back, Leah.
Hello, Leah.
That one will be getting moved up at some point very soon. Next molt, I reckon.
Cool. Yeah. No. Fine.
Enclosure needs a bit of a clean around the doorway. It's pooped everywhere. So you've got that one, and then you've got this one, which is, I do not understand how this is genus. This thing's feisty. This is the Lieta. Right, stay where you are, don't bolt. Come on. Completely different looking spider, eh?
Is that the later?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's stunning.
Just as thick webbing, though. It doesn't like. You see the way it's done that in the middle? The cone in the middle literally only covers all the air holes at the top. The way they've done it.
Mine's just started webbing up nice now.
Perhaps to allow airflow throughout the webbing.
Yeah. It's cool, though, isn't it?
Yeah, I love heavy webbing species.
Oh, these things are great. Still got that nice.
Still got a bit of feistiness, you remember?
Oh, these are not carabiner. If you think like you go, oh yeah, we'll get a carabiner as a genus, like nice starter species. These things are, they threat pose you at the just in water.
Huh.
I'm sorry, I'm trying to keep you alive.
Yeah, exactly. How dare
Some
you?
grateful little buggers.
But his water bowl's in here somewhere. Oh, hello. And that's why.
Bloody hell.
See? Give it water. Tries to destroy me, but hey ho. That was a not really what I was intending to do, but hey ho. Right. Let's let that leave for now. Oh look, hello Jackie.
Hello.
We won't get the macro lens out on Jackie.
Nah, that'd be bloody scary.
I don't know, some people might pay good money for that.
So, no.
Yeah, Jackie knows what her customers want, so.
Shut up, short ass.
I had to jump on it one time.
Jeremy,
Yes.
did you bring any
Don't tell
goods
us,
today?
Hmm? Oh,
Did you bring any
Jesus.
goods today?
Any goods?
Yeah.
Oh, topics. Honestly, I didn't bring it.
You're fired.
Yeah.
Oh, Connor, that's awesome.
It's been a very intense week of lectures, so I haven't really sat down and picked out a topic.
Leah, I'll get my Villa Cellar out and I'll get my Darlingia out actually. Give me 2 seconds.
Heterothele genus is very nice.
Yeah.
Bloody crazy woman.
What
Behind
topic could
you.
we talk about, though?
Boris, the locust is behind you. You silly woman. I can't exactly leave these down, otherwise they'll escape.
I'm going to take inspiration from Tom Moran's podcast and see if I can find anything.
Ouch.
What's that for? Oh, from Tom Moran, right? Okay, sorry, I wasn't listening.
Yeah. Just trying to see.
You want to see a? Oh, why does it always do it? Why does it always start with a stupid camera? How's Jay? Anyway?
Hi, Gabber.
How's me? I'm all right. Had a long day at work and I had to stop off somewhere and arrange some part-time work on my way home.
All right.
Why, what's happened?
Oh, nothing's happened. I just need more money.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
The
you're
money's not
sniping
working
it,
for you.
Yeah, heavy webbing spiders. This is a Mashali. Anyway, I wasn't showing the Mashali. Right, let's move then. Oh, actually, Jeremy, I've got something to show you.
Ooh, what have you got?
Well, you haven't seen your boy for a while, have you?
Oh, nice.
Gather, you're not
There
allowed
he
to have a
is.
favorite species of Samapeus. It's just an awesome genus. You have to like all of them.
Blanket for Salvace. Look at him. Handsome boy.
He's getting ready for a molt.
Yeah, look at him. I wonder what's. Do you think he's close to maturing? He might be a couple molts away.
I think probably 2, yeah, at least, because they do become tanks, don't they?
Yeah, I've had him since he was this big.
He's a big boy, mate. He's a big boy. He ate today, actually. So
It's a lot.
he had a
He
nice
can eat.
Oreo. That's probably why his bum's looking like that.
Nice and thick.
Oh, that's the thing. If you want a thick tank-looking spider, like people say, "Oh, what should I get? What should I get?" If you like the look of what you would class as a tarantula, go for the geniculata. The fact that their carapace is always huge, and the fact that they just look like a tank, don't they?
Yeah.
Just a bulky spider in general.
They are.
Right, let's see if this one will stay put.
You can't have only me. Told you, lady.
Chris was after mine at one time.
What were they?
Adult female. Her abdomen is like carrying an orange.
That's what you got to look forward to, Connor. I mean, this one's growing. This one is a female.
Right, ouch. Right, come on, lady. This is going down. Okay, that
Is
isn't
this
going down.
Marshali?
No, this one's Darlingi. The thing is, what I like about this is not necessarily just the horn, but they always seem to have a smiley face on their abdomen.
I do, Leah.
Out the
Very
way.
big one.
Out the way. I know. Good girl.
I see what you mean. It looks like somebody's drawn an abstract kind of Groot.
Oh, yeah, it does.
It reminds me of Smiler. If you've seen like the white face with just a big smile and the little slit eyes on it.
I wouldn't know that one.
Don't put your hands inside of that with hold the phone when anything clips. That's a gorgeous spider as well.
Don't give me evils.
But it's funny to think, like, I used to be petrified of that thing. And Leah wants to see the Villa Cellar. Please do not run away. Okay, you might not see the spider, but you'll see the webbing.
Mm-hmm.
Spiders just disappeared. Yeah, they do. They web like super heavy. Little dwarf thing has just gone down there. See its foot. But a lot of webbing. Beautiful spider. All right.
Yeah, Leah, this is my new home now for most of the day and evenings. Ooh, Brachypalma albicets pairing, Leah. Very nice.
Oh, very nice. Oh, Leah's theme is the female is the one that's super, super calm, isn't it?
My favourite of the Brachypalma genus.
Oh, there's a good debate.
What, favourite Brachy? Amelia
Right,
for
well,
me, hands
what's
down.
everyone's favourite brackies in chat then, and on the panel? What do we all think about the brackies? What's your favourite?
I'll let other people go first because then I'll correct you all.
Amelia. Definitely Amelia.
All right. Okay, Jay. Hold on a sec. Let's get Jay up on big screen. You got the floor, Jay. Tell us why.
Nice one.
So for me, the vibrancy of the colours, but I know that can be said for all of them. Oh, do you know what? I'm just biased. My first ever tarantula was Brachypelma amelia, and I got her when I was still an arachnophobe. But she also got me into the Brachypelma genus. But yeah, for me, it's the colours, the length of the colours across the limbs, the vibrancy of the colours, and for me, they don't get dull like a lot of brackies do when they're nearing molt. She stays pretty vibrant.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's why for me.
Okay, fair enough.
And she doesn't flick. She doesn't flick as much as any of my other brackies.
Oh, okay. It's interesting because I think the only one I've got that actually does flick is my male Bomai.
My Bomai, I don't know what it is yet. It's a sling, but it flicks like hell. All you need to do is open the container and
very
flick.
little shit when it comes to flicking. You guys know my story of the rash that I got from it.
It's funny because the females I've got.
The rash. You should get that treated, that rash.
Right, so let's have a look. Oh, we got Mark. Go on, Mark. Favourite brackie?
Favourite brackie? Got to be the Classy.
Why?
I don't know, no particular reason. I just, when I used to feed all peace spiders, it was just my favourite because of the colours on it and how they stood out. And I've just loved it ever since. I got a nice big female Class C, and she's absolutely stunning.
Nice. Classy's nice looking stuff.
Don't even ask me about what's my favourite because I can't answer it.
Okay.
My favourite's got to be Albiceps. Gotta be Albiceps. Only because a fresh malted Albiceps, that black is proper, like, out in your face. Love it. Like, taking macro photos on my Albiceps. I'll try to dig it up in a bit, but they're stunning.
It's like satin, isn't it?
It's so cool. It's glossy as well. Well, I mean, a lot of tarantulas are glossy when they freshly molt, but Albiceps, freshly malted, another level. And they don't flick.
No, okay. That's fair enough. That's a good reason. Right.
I've only got 2 different brackets, and that's it. I haven't got.
So, freshly malted, the Bomai is still, I think, still has that on par black that the Albiceps has, but that red is super rich, dark red. But it's still not my favourite. The Albiceps, I do like the cream versus black. It's the contrast of the colours. I think it's good. But my Amelia is my favourite. I've got 2 Bomais, 2 Erratums, Hamorai, Smithy. I've got the Toledo Cattles, which obviously we're not going to include. But the Amelia, for me, like even Jeremy says, it's just gorgeous. So I think we'll have to have a look at mine.
Yeah, I've got was it the Bomai or Bohemian, whatever you call them? Got one of them.
Look at that.
Looks like they're wearing lower leg warmers, doesn't it?
You still get the Albiceps type carapace, but with a little triangle at the front. So I think this is why I prefer the Amelia. But look how fat she is right now.
Jeez.
Yeah, my Classy's the same. She's been in like that size abdomen for about 6 to 8 months now.
Yeah, well, I think I've got my Classy, this one, my Hamorai, and my Errata are all the same.
I really want to get a pure Bongane, but that's just like finding unicorn shit.
Yeah, you can blame the mid-Europeans for that, can't you, a lot of the time?
Unfortunately so. It is a shame.
This is what happens when money entices people to crossbreed things and say they're certain things when they're not.
Oh, yeah, it's not good.
Yeah,
It's
Jeremy,
different if it's all natural occurring, but when you actually force it on there, then that's bad.
while we've got the camera out, Jeremy,
That's a fantastic topic I want to talk about, actually. That we'll get into in just a moment.
this is going to be rehoused. It's on the desk for being rehoused this week, next week. So
It's getting big.
yeah,
Look at those legs. Bicoloratum. I had that thing when it was like dinky.
this was my favourite gift I've received for them.
I knew you'd like it. I knew you'd like it.
Dude, it's awesome.
I was
mate.
torn between this one and some red spots, but I thought this would hit home better.
Oh mate, honestly, you've done well with that. That's amazing. It's just a beautiful spider with a lot of feistiness to it. That's for sure.
Oh yeah.
I'd see where Osmond's coming from down in the comments. The Erratum.
All right.
I can go with that. It's a very attractive spider.
Very nice.
Okay, so the Erratum is very different to the other brackies in terms of its patterning, I suppose. I mean, it looks more like a Hamor. It's got more Hamori stripy legs. But yeah, I mean, it is a gorgeous thing. But I tell you, the freshly, I'm really torn. The Amelia is my favourite, but freshly malted, the Bomai has that dark red orange colour, full legs and black body. It's just crazy looking.
Lady.
Don't mind a bit of controversy, Matt.
Yeah, go on.
Jackie brought up a topic that I'd like to talk about. Hobby hybrids and locality crosses.
Okay.
Oh yeah, fair point.
What's everyone's stance on that?
Okay. So From what perspective are we talking?
From in comparison, so it's shunned a lot in our hobby, but when you look at reptiles, they're everywhere.
Yes.
And what do you guys think is the reason why it's shunned in the hobby? Like reasons for,
I don't think that should be some of it.
and whether you agree with it or not, would you like, some people may want to see hobby crosses and hybrids.
Okay, give me an example of a hobby cross you'd like to see if you were going to see it. We're talking interspecies in the same genus, obviously.
Yeah, interspecies and or locality crosses within the same species. So, for
Okay,
example, Regus locality crosses.
Okay, locality crosses. There probably are, to a certain degree, a percentage of locality crosses in the wild anyway.
Yeah.
Because you're not going to have. It's not like they need a passport to cross a border or anything.
No.
So as species grow and develop in the wild, and maybe they're like an affluent area of food and resources and stuff, and they'll spread. They spread into other areas where there's localities that aren't doing so well, maybe, but they're, a variant of the same species. They're going to be a lot of wild interbreeding. So when people actually go and get these wild caught ones anyway and bring them into the hobby, chances are they're not a purebred locale anyway. Is my view on that part. Purposely taking a Salma Pierce Canberra guy and mixing it with a Porcher, I would frown upon that.
Yeah.
Even though they would breed, and if you look at things like dogs or cats and stuff like that, there's plenty of different species of dogs and cats that interbreed, and no one bats an eyelid. It does seem that there's only certain, well, basically this hobby that massively does sort of say no to it. And I think it's more the case of, at the moment, you have such beautiful spiders, and if you muddy the waters and you lose those species. So can you imagine if you started crossbreeding Versi with Valletta and you lost the vibrance of the versicola and you ended up with just the brown spiders, and it was like a muddied carabiner, and that's it. That's the only one you got left.
Hi, Bad Moon.
It's personally, I think that would ruin a lot of spiders out there. It's nice to have the unique spiders, and I think if you start crossbreeding, you lose a lot of that. And whilst you may have some morphs that are like unbelievable, like you do with some of the reptiles, they're still what you'd call like a crested gecko or whatever. So it's, with the spiders, you could just call it a spider, but you wouldn't be able to say these are this species, genus, whatever it is. You lose that. That's just my view anyway.
Anyone else?
Isn't there something to do about the mutations, like with the spider? Was it spider type of snakes? And isn't there something like to do with a wobble? So wouldn't you be worried?
The Royals
if you do that. Wouldn't certain genetic problems could occur, couldn't it?
Leopard geckos get it.
Yeah, spider gene in Royals, I think.
Yes, the spider gene. I think the Leos, it's one of the white morphs, Max Snow or something like that, or Sub-Zero. I think it's Sub-Zeros that get the head wobble.
With regards to like the leopard geckos, you're far better off just going and getting what you'd call a natural leopard gecko, because they're going to have the genetics that allow for longer life and less grief in general.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Sub-Zero. There you go. Leah said with the Leos.
I think one of the interesting things with tarantulas, when you look at Neotheliense, where you have gold and you have olive, but that is a morph, and you don't really get that in any other species or genus of tarantula that we know of. If you could cross different morphs of the same species from the same genus and produce different color offspring, I have no issue with that.
Yeah.
But when you start crossing different species to get a different looking spider, that's an entirely different kettle of fish.
Yeah. And I don't think there's enough available people who would be willing to do it and figure out whether or not they do end up with genetic issues and things like that. You could end up having infertile egg sacs non-stop, things like that from them, so it's pain. The INSEE is an interesting one because effectively you can breed gold and olive together. If you breed olive
With
and
olive
olive,
in gold and gold produce opposite colours.
yeah, it's strange because if you do olive and gold together, you get golds. If you do olive and olive, you could get gold in an egg sac because one of the olives may carry the gold gene,
Genetics, yeah.
the morph of it inside. But I think the golds produce golds, don't they?
Great for the well-being of Tarantula. Yeah, I agree with that, Connor, as well. I mean, with the amount of genetic issues that are well known, and some that will probably start popping up in the next decade or so, from the intense inbreeding of certain things, just to do that lottery of the genes and hope something pretty comes out and sell it for 100 grand.
No.
But with limited gene pools that we have with spiders and the inconsistencies of stuff coming in, if you were to cross, for example, the brachypelmas, where we're no longer allowed to get any pure
Okay.
like caught stuff.
So
Same thing with like jumpers.
two things that have come up in chat just then that I sort of thought maybe I'll have an opinion on. One of them is Osman's comment where he's talking about won't even do two localities in the same colour form, for example. So definitely not a Murinus with a Lagardia or a Caudatus. The interesting one is when you're sold a spider, and say, for example, you're sold it as RCF or UMV, and you can get UMVs that look very, very RCF, and you can get RCFs that look very, very UMV. If you're sold something as being one of those, and it's the other, there has been people that end up breeding, and it's a case of the debates happen on forums and stuff, and you see them arguing all the time about it, saying like, no, that's not a UMV, that's an RCF, and you've done this, and you've now crossbred the babies. And the babies all come out, and they all look like, one or the other, and it's a case of,
Sorry,
that's all right. You're trying to fix your echo?
I misclicked.
All right. So yeah, there's been UMVs and RCFs that look very, very much like the other one, and there have been people that have bred, and when they've shown the breeding footage, people have started going up in arms about that's not a UMV male, that's an RCF male, and it's like, well, it's sold to me as a UMV, and other people say no, it is a UMV, because sometimes the coloration can be varied. But the other one that was interesting is saying about the avic morphs. So the thing is, you have the avicularia species. Within the genus, you obviously have lots of morph types, which are effectively the localities for avic. And then you have the different avic species as well, like Minax, Purpurae, the Gerensis, and all that. My M6 is a morph of an avic, but it looks so different to the standard avic. There's no way I would breed those, because and my conscience speaks to me that I know they're two different separate spiders. So it's like, why would I? It was weird because originally the Morph 6 was a separate species in people's minds until it was described and they decided it wasn't. It's going to be a morph type. And I'm sure the avic genus is such a mess, they will end up reclassifying a load of them anyway. The morph types for the avic will get reclassified at some point. They will.
Very, very likely, yeah. Again, it's got to do with stuff of genetic sequencing and finding the similarities between the lot, and possible distribution. Where I think they were saying that it come from different sections of the jungle and it's very close vicinities to each other.
And this brings on another point though, because at the moment, if you took, say, for example, avicularia M2, or you took avicularia M6, and you bred them now, you could be frowned upon for it. But in 2 years' time, they could say, actually, they're the same spider, and we're going to reclassify the M6 and M2 as the M1.5 or something. And then all of a sudden, the people who have been breeding those all of a sudden aren't frowned upon because it's now described as the same one. And that's the issue with spiders, because sometimes, you know, as we know full well, there's reclassifications happening all the time as they do more research.
All the time. And you know, it's an interesting thing as well because, for example, with the Trues, I bought Egyptian Hogna radiata, and apparently there's no
Hey, Bastian.
radiata that come from Egypt. And the person I said I backed up my thing, basically what the guy
Well,
said.
that's
Well, this is what they were sold as, and what I'm going to keep them labeled as. And that's not because I'm lazy and I don't want to get my typewriter out and look into it further. Is because if these spiders were to be reclassified, I need to know what they were beforehand. So if I was to sell them in the future, I could put in a bracket X sold as, for example, to prevent crossing in the future. You know, we as a hobby, I think we do pretty good in discouraging hybridization and locality crosses. You know, not even just spiders. You know, you get a brilliant example again is phasmids. They do fantastic work with phasmids. You know, the Tiaratum, the Australian prickle sticks, or whatever the common name is. You know, you got localities of those, the Insaful,
Are they
the
the
main
exo one? Are they the exo Taratara or whatever?
Exosama or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they have one now called Insaful, which is a locality, and no one crosses them because you don't want. And what people have seen with crossing localities of phasmids is that they shrink. You know, you get
Mm.
Heteropteryx dilatata, the jungle nymphs. You get females that are like way bigger than your hand, but mixing certain localities that made females get like this big,
Mm.
and it stunts the growth. So if we were to cross tarantulas, for example, spiders that take 2 decades to grow fully, you know, are we going to see a change in size of spiders, which is what people are saying with Sturmy, Theraphosa in general? Oh, they shrunk. Is that because they were crossed in the past and no one knew? Blondies and Sturmies, they look very similar.
This
I
is
think-
another problem.
I think a lot of that could be could actually be due to some of the small gene pools that are being bred from. So many generations of basically interbreeding. Even I know that they kind of say that with inverts it doesn't seem to matter, but it's got to have an effect somewhere along the line.
It does happen.
Yeah.
It does. Interbreeding affects spiders, like, and insects in general. I mean, you see it with beetles. You get big beetles, and if you don't get fresh blood in those beetles, the males, no matter how much
Roaches.
kimchi and protein you feed them, they shrink. Roaches, they
Roaches are a big
crash.
one. Yeah, you see the hissers. You can get I've had my colony of hissers for 10 years. The original 5 that I started with were monsters. Now I would definitely say the biggest one I get is at least 2 centimeters smaller than any of the old ones I've had. And for
Yeah.
roaches, that's a big change. I do get new blood in there, but it doesn't seem to matter now that they're now that size. You know, it's crazy. But yeah, I think the trouble is it's relatively. If you look at the length of time people have been keeping spiders, it's a fraction of time considering the amount of study that's gone into animals. Like you look back to like Darwin when he's gone off and done his theory of evolution, and he was going on around Cook Islands, all this wherever else he was going, Galapagos and everything. It's he even there the amount of years that spiders have been looked at for science and stuff as far as hobby goes, because spiders are used for a lot of robotics, but when they use it just for pure research for spiders themselves and learning about and understanding, it's in its infancy. It's just literally the hobby's just starting to walk.
And yeah, again with research, if we were to actively and promote crossings, it's why a few, not the whole scientific community, but a quite big chunk of them refuse to work with the hobby because they feel like, you know, who is it that talked about it? Someone brought it up with poster theory on one of the podcasts I was listening to, and essentially the guy was like, "Well, that's all well and good, but we don't know if these pokies are pure. We don't want to ruin the gene pools that are very limited in the wild now, anyways."
Well, this is one
So
of the
even
reasons. I
if we
mean,
were to release them, you know, it's
reintegration
like,
of any animal into the wild is normally it doesn't happen invariably because of the amount of effectively muddied waters that people just assume has happened.
Yeah. So like, unless you go out now, collect Metallica, breed those Metallica, you can't use hobby Metallica because you don't know what genes have been mixed in there. Unfortunately,
No.
it's a shame.
The research
I'd like to
facilities, even
see-
that do that to try and repopulate into the wild, they're held under such strict guidelines. They are like, you know, secure buildings with virtually like 3 or 4 different areas for sanitation, this, that, and the other, just to literally keep everything. No hobby. If you keep spiders at home, you're probably never ever going to be able to work at a place like that. Stuff like that. It's crazy.
And it's like, what's his name? Who do you guys know? The guy, Micro Wilderness.
Yeah.
He collects wild females, produce the sack, and he won't even feed them because he doesn't want the bacterial load in the hobby feeders to be released back into the wild if that will affect the wild populations at all. It's very muddy waters with this kind of thing, and
He's actually re-released stuff, hasn't he? He's taken in wild caught stuff, actually helped them breed, and then released them back out again, hasn't he?
yeah, because when they have the wildfires in California, he'll seed
Yeah.
slings. Once they turn into, he'll seed the area where that's been affected by the fire because essentially the tarantulas can't avoid the fire; they'll die.
Hmm.
Their burrows only go so deep, so he'll go out and seed the slings, but he won't feed the slings when they hatch. He'll wait for the abdomen to shrink so they've absorbed that internal yolk, and then release them.
Yep.
Which is, I think, is very, very cool. But again, we don't all have access to that, and why I feel like we shouldn't be promoting mixing. Keep it pure. We can go on a whole tangent, It's like, yeah, with the localities of Regius. Oh, well, they look pretty. Well, and they occur in the wild. That's like, what we were talking about earlier. They can occur in the wild, but they're in a captive setting, and forcing that on a spider, and then because I could easily get, for example, Rastafari Blue and a Bahama. They're not going to come in contact with each other. But if I was to cross that and go, oh, well, Bahamas sell better, I'll just sell them as Bahama and not tell anyone, that whole Bahama line, if you were to cross that with future generation, we'll just muddy it up. And
What
whether
makes
that
me
was-
chuckle with the whole Bahamas thing is people want them because of their colour,
Yep.
Yeah.
and only
And
30%
they
of their
stick
of
with
white,
them.
but only 30% of the Bahamas end up being white anyway, don't they?
Yeah, so it's like, they'll cross Bahama with a Pachicola because the Pachicola have a higher ratio of whiter specimens than Bahama, and a Pachicola are a lot bigger than Bahama. So it's like,
I'll get the lens back out on my my little jumpers in a minute. It's just showcase them a little
really,
bit. It's
really
so funny.
nice.
They're tiny at the moment, but the macro lens does them proud.
Take care, Bad Moon.
Take it easy, Bad Moon.
Yeah, night, dude.
A bad mood.
Cheers for popping in, buddy. Appreciate it.
Yeah, so it's like, with limited blood with those localities of Regius, if you were to cross them, it's just not worth it.
No.
The
We can't.
trouble is with the. I'm not going to sort of generalize, say the jumping spider community, but the issue is because jumping spiders are cute and there's been a huge growth in jumping spiders, the chance of people going, let's breed this with this because we want to get this new beautiful looking morph is far higher probably than actually in tarantulas, to be fair.
Very, very high, especially with the growth rate of them. You can achieve a couple generations in the same time you would be able to attempt to pair an Ophanopelma,
Yeah.
To play devil's advocate a little bit, the popularity in isopods,
Yeah, that's another one.
and basically the vast majority of them is people crossing various different color morphs to create a new color morph. So why is that okay, but it's not okay with anything else?
Well, for example, Lavis, they just pop up. And with Pocelio, what are they called? Scaba. I found wild lava morphs in my garden. They naturally occur, and they do pop up in cultures. Just not adding anything. Like Nicole Louise, is that one of the sellers who sells a lot of Cubaris and Marinella nowadays? She's had albino duckies. She's had albino Pseudodillo spinosus come out in her colonies, which she's not intentionally mixed. And she will get some of the Marinellas. I think a good example is the Ember Bees.
Hi, Erin.
She's got
Hi, Erin.
high orange, high yellow, and we split those off in the colonies and keep them breeding. for the continued thing, because that's it's like it is a good point, but
the other problem with the other problem with isopods, as I have been victim to, is I took a pot to Phil's show to give to Jeremy and said, look, whatever's in here.
yes.
And inside this were powder blues,
Powder Blues, Panda Kings, and there was something else. I think Dwarf Whites.
and the thing was, Jay, I hadn't even kept powder blues, right? But I had got Panda Kings, but they were in a tub 4 tubs away. But what I noticed was the babies had moved one of the leaves and were climbing up the leaf and then out one of the air holes and going. And somehow they'd managed to fall into this tub. The powder blues, I have no idea how. They must have come in when I was given the colonies originally. They were in the substrate. But yeah, it was like a strange mix. And then I think I had I gave Leah my dwarf whites, and in the dwarf white setup there were 4 millipedes,
Bloody hell.
of which I didn't keep.
There you go. So it's like it just happens. And like
Yeah.
now dwelling on it as well, it's like for they have the Armadillidium gem mix.
Mm.
So gem mix is vulgar morphs, which are all natural morphs, but you won't see a party mix of Kluge localities, Dubrovnik, Montenegro. You don't see those kept together. They keep them separate. So
That's
it's
crazy,
like,
isn't it?
yeah, so it's like there are a lot of morphs within the isopod hobby, but they're all coming from culture and they're not mixing species. If that kind of answers the question, Jay.
Yeah, I mean, I get where you're coming from. I just think when you look at the price of some of these, and they're basically, some of the morphs of isopods. It's easy to see why people. Isopods weren't even. When I got into the hobby 4 and a bit years ago, isopods weren't even talked about. Now suddenly it's a huge thing, and they demand a huge price. So it's easy to see why people do want to mess around with like locales and whatever else from the same species, but that do have distinct differences.
I definitely think those isopod things, I think the reason for their success or the reason for their interest is because people who keep spiders all of a sudden realize they haven't got room for 150 30 by 30 exos, and they can keep 10 or 12 colonies of isopod in the space of a 30 by 30 cube, if they use the correct sort of like types of enclosures with not too much depth, long, thin things to get the gradient. You can achieve it quite easily in the same footprint. It's one of the reasons why maybe millipedes aren't as popular as they used to be, because you have to have huge enclosures for virtually no animal, and you don't see them very often. And you have a huge setup for millipedes, or you should have huge setups for millipedes. So a lot of people sort of went off keeping millipedes. The decline of millipedes in a lot of shops has been quite evident over the last year or so. So I think that's why isopods are so popular, is because of the footprint of their enclosures, really. Volume of the amount of space they're going to take up in comparison to other
For
things.
anybody watching that does worry about the footprint of enclosures, I'd really encourage you to get into dwarf species of tarantula.
Mm.
Yeah.
There's some amazing dwarf species of tarantula out there that really don't take up space.
No, the Cyanophema genus. Not genus, sorry. The Bonatinas. Yes, Bonatinas. The Bonatinas, they are they're a genus worth looking at for sure. They're a little bit larger than some dwarf species, but the care of them is very, very easy because they're Mexican. So it's very much like whenever you keep a bracky. They are gorgeous as well. I've got a Cyanophema, and I was looking at another one. I'm waiting until February the 10th. So I'm not purchasing anything until February the 10th. I've still got some money and some credit with the shop, thanks to the wonderful gift I received. I still haven't spent it all yet. Quite amazingly. Yeah.
Oh. Cool.
Hey,
Another
Mark.
thing just came up in my memory.
Hi, Mark.
Ross
Hi,
from
Victoria.
Aquarium Max did a really interesting experiment with Porcellio laevis.
Okay.
He wanted to try make what they have in
Hello.
Porcellinodes pronosis, the powder oranges, mixed with
Right,
the
okay.
whites, give the Dalmatian, the orange Dalmatian. So he tried to do that with laevis, and he just found that he was just getting increased numbers of orange and laevis, but there weren't any wild types, which you would expect if two morphs of that species, wild types, would appear. He would take those wild types out, let them interbreed, and theoretically, orange Dalmatians should pop out as a recessive gene within those wild types. They would have the, but he didn't get that with trying to get these laevis, which it's not like you're mixing; it's two morphs of
Oh,
that same
definitely,
species.
Gather.
So now they're thinking that orange laevis and orange dairy cows aren't both laevis; they're two different species.
Oh, wow.
That's his theory on it. And he did that a year and a bit ago. That just came to memory now. So, even if you wanted to cross species, sometimes it doesn't even work with the pods.
The thing is, from a scientific point of view, I can understand the attractiveness of these experiments, and without further understanding knowledge, it's a very selfish human thing. But without sort of doing certain experiments, you don't learn, and you don't develop. You don't understand things. You don't come across accidents. A lot of brilliant scientific discoveries are done as a byproduct of the research that's being done. It's not actually the focus of the research. So you end up, if you were doing things with spiders and you ended up coming across some sort of cure for some disease or something as a byproduct by mistake, these things happen. So there is sort of like an element of sometimes, even if you don't want to do it yourself and don't agree with it, some of these research things, experiments are going to happen. And if good can come of it, then great. But then again, you've also got the other hand where humans do stick their fingers in the pie too often
Yeah.
and cause chaotic results, which is never a good thing either. So tread lightly.
Because I think in a good comparison with the pods as well, Jay, is comparing it to the Neocardinia, the cherry shrimp, all those different colors. If you would put all those colors together, they would interbreed and then produce wild types with recessive genes. So, I think it's a similar thing with isopods. I think that's how it kind of works. You have a morph pop up, you separate them, get the wild types, take the wild types out. When they start producing, put them back together, kind of thing. So it's like
We have a tank with cherry shrimp in, and they were all like your bog standard red. But sort of generations in, we now get various types of reds and oranges with translucent bits and all sorts of stuff going on. So
do you get like the rillies? Like they have the split in the middle with like a clear body with red either side.
we haven't had any of those yet.
No rillies yet. Interesting. Yeah, it's all very interesting genetics and stuff, but yeah, if you know what you have, don't intentionally mix it. It's kind of like my kind of message.
You
With
also, without actually doing DNA sequencing,
Hi,
you never
Natalie.
know dominant genes anyway.
You never know what you're mixing, So it's like
No, so if you might mix for years and years and years, and you actually don't know what you are doing because you don't know what the dominant genes, and also you don't actually know how many genes there are that will be dominant. It might not be like with humans, it's the XY chromosome. Fine, you get a male, you get a female, but with the Incies and the Incy golds, you've got one gene that causes them to be gold or olive, but one's a dominant. You may have two or three, which then all of a sudden brings up, it doesn't just bring up one or two different possibilities. It brings up quite a few, So yeah, it's interesting, but I think, I don't think it's really for the hobbyists to start messing around with.
No, I agree.
Leave it up to people. Hi, Natalie. Leave it up to people who know what they're doing. There's a lot of intelligent
Hello,
people out
Natalie.
there.
Hi, Nat.
Hello, Charlotte. Didn't see you in the chat earlier. How are you? All doing? I think someone else said hello earlier as well. Oh, and Mark. Sorry, hello as well, Mark and Victoria. Hope you're both well.
Hello, Natalie. I did say hello. I wasn't ignoring you earlier, Natalie. My phone was dead. Unfortunately, I didn't realise I didn't have my charger with me, and I was it died. I didn't have a
Flies,
cable.
flies.
Yeah, I do like talking about this genetical stuff. It's very, very, very interesting.
I think it's good. I think people should be interested in that type of stuff, even if it. The thing is, as someone who's interested in a hobby,
Mhm.
being aware of something doesn't necessarily mean you have to go down that path. But I do think you should make yourself understand these things that go on in the hobby, so that you can then make an educated decision when you come across these things in the future that maybe are put in front of your face, or someone says to you, "Oh, this is a so and so one of these," and you're like, "Hold on a minute, that means you must have done something that probably wasn't appropriate here to get that." Or you can just blissfully go through the hobby being just, unaware of all these things and just enjoy the hobby. I do think it's education always a good thing.
There's a lot to be said for going through the hobby being blissfully unaware.
Yeah,
It saves you a lot of hassle.
it does.
It
It
does.
does. Did you know, Jeremy? The interesting segue from that lot. Did you know Darwin was an accidental member of the team that went over and did all that, and the fact that we may not have had the evolution discoveries had he not been there.
He was an accident.
He was an accident on the boat. Yeah, basically, they had 3 people that were qualified that turned down the offer to go on the exploration, and so they offered it to him as a 4th person apparently, and he wasn't even qualified at the time.
Yeah.
And look at where science is now because of that accident.
Exactly. So this is what we're saying.
It's all meant to be.
I cannot
Yeah.
tell you what book that came from because I've plugged it far too much.
That's what I'm going to be doing over the weekend now. I've finished my uni week. I'm going to be listening to that on Spotify when I'm doing my feeds. I cannot wait.
Yeah, it's
You've
very
hyped up
good.
so much, so if I'm disappointed, I'm blaming you.
That's all right, mate. If you're disappointed, I'll treat you to lunch when you come down. Yeah.
Natalie, I know Darwin through books, but Craig knows him in person. You should ask Craig if you want information on Darwin. He was on the island next to the tortoise.
Yeah.
Swamp Calcodes.
Oh, hi, Charlotte. as well.
Yeah.
The
exactly.
Cross River is named Cross River because it's found in a different area, although they are both Calcodes.
Mm.
So that may change in the future. Same with
This is
Thank
the
you, Gabba.
trouble.
Grammastola
Like I
pulper
said,
and Crage.
the hobby, even though it's been around and people have kept spiders for many, many years, some people have kept well over a decade, 20 years or whatever, but the hobby is still in its infancy for understanding, and a lot of these spider genes, like the genuses, are still not in a good state. So that they will get reclassified. Spiders will get described in different places. They'll move
Nice drugs.
forwards. You never know. Chromatus will be back in Nandu in a year or 2.
What are they now? Vitalis.
Vitalis, yeah. Well, Violet.
I've
You know,
still not reprinted labels for this yet.
No,
I'm not.
neither.
I've got a mature male. I'm not changing his label. He can stay as he is.
Jesus.
I have to wait for my one to become mature.
Mm.
I might just breed him for fun. He's my first teeth. I'd like to see him have some babies.
You've got a big enough room now to at least 1,000 vials you'll need.
Yeah, I'll just use this entire corner bit as slot for Nando's.
Yeah. Oh, imagine if it
Vitalis.
doubled up.
Oh my god.
That'd be funny. Double sack.
Oh Jesus. No, that would not be funny. 4,000 slings, no thanks.
Oh, Matt, you look like Mr. Shine. Mr. Shine. Wait.
Mr.
Oh
Shine.
yes. I'm so excited for that, Osmond. I'm gonna get my female a new enclosure because I found a crack on the base of her enclosure. I think it's just from being old, the glass, and the pressure of all the dirt 'cause it's a fossorial glass tank.
Yeah.
So I'm going to have to change her tank before I breed them.
I've got my Merendilianis 8 today as well, Osman. So he's going to be ready for you when you come to seize. There's a good few projects going on here between us lot at the moment because Osman's hopefully going to have my Merendilianis, so that'll be a Ceratogyrus, hopefully successful pairing as long as the man does the business. He's quite small, but he's feisty, so hopefully he'll be all right. Then I've got Jay's male Avic going into my female. Going into the enclosure. I shouldn't really say going into the female, should I? Going into the enclosure
We're
tomorrow.
hoping he goes into the
Yeah,
female.
hopefully he does. Hopefully he punches her like Rocky Balboa. Beats her into submission from an abdomen.
Trouble is, she fights back like Apollo Creed. That's the problem.
Rocky always wins. Rocky always wins. They might be down there for round 15, but you know.
He'll come out with 2 legs and a black eye, but he'll have done the job.
Hopefully he comes out, mate, because I've got my other female. I've moved him next to the female, and the female's moved to the wall of that side of the enclosure. So I'll take that as a good sign. The other female, I don't know whether she's ready, really. She's a little bit smaller, but I'm going to put him in with the big one. And then next week, I'm going to introduce him to the enclosure of the other female and see if he reacts at all and see if she reacts. If she reacts, then I'll let him be. If she doesn't, I'll just take him, move him straight away. But yeah, right, let's get and see this other jumping spiders.
No.
Yeah, very interesting chat. I love discussing this kind of stuff. It's very, very cool.
Oh, actually. Did you eat?
Shut up, Natalie.
Oh, Jay,
Only trying to be helpful.
Speaking of the Avics, one of the reasons why I'm not putting those other 2 males in, both of them haven't eaten for almost like between 70 and 80 days.
Oh.
One of them was in a death curl today, and I managed to actually get him to take some food. So I left him on my desk for like 2.5 hours out of his enclosure, eating this worm on my desk. And then he walked back into the enclosure and's gone up the court dike. So probably his last meal, I would think. But
yeah, I'd
he
say
was from last year's seas, wasn't he?
He was mature before. He was Luke's. Luke had used him, and then he come to me. I had 2 of them.
I pointed him out to you, didn't I?
Yeah, and then I got 2. I got one from Bug Hut as well, and that was just after seas as well. So they're over a year. They're over a year mature. So they would end up just being sacrifices, and I don't want to do that to my animals.
Toast.
The Jay's one is going to go in there and do the business for everybody. He's gonna carry the flag.
Oh dear. Oh dear. That's all on him.
It's next week. I just hope I can give him my essay on time because I've got to give my essay on the 26th. So I'm going to hopefully try and get that all done tomorrow, and then I can just relax and forget about uni for the weekend.
Oh, shut up. Stupid thing.
That is Jackie's
Yeah,
clientele.
but I haven't got Echo though.
Yeah, they're saying where their requests are at, Jackie. That's why.
Saying what?
Everybody's asking for your link.
Piss off.
See, even Mark's jumping on it now.
Oh, fuck that.
Jesus.
No, the little guys have all gone to bed.
Sean, which one?
Oh,
There's
shit.
a lot of pig toes.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you little shit, come here. Mature male pink top. Yeah, there is several pink.
Which morph type?
Oh, Avics. You've got about Avic.
And that's what I like about the morph types as well with the Avix, is that they'll label them as X, so like at least you know what it was previously. And I've seen on Facebook groups where people would be asking for a morph type 6 male. I think that's the
Ex Metallica.
is it the Metallica? Yeah. So
Yeah.
they will ask, or is it Juriensis? What's Juriensis? Is that type 2?
I'm not sure. The M2 I think might be actually during.
Is I remember there was a guy asking for one, and it was one or the other. And I think Martin Lee was asking for a confirmation of which one it was, if it's which morph type,
Ah,
which is good. Juriensis, yeah, M2. I think it was M2. Someone was looking for a Juriensis male. They said they had one, and then which morph type is it? I think that's the conversation they had in the group I was reading with Martin Lee, who is in the Congo. Very jealous.
yeah. Congo. Wow.
Yeah, he's seen some cool stuff.
I bet.
So I'm just removing dead flies from this enclosure at the moment.
It's all right.
Night, Natalie.
Night,
Hi,
Nat.
Natalie.
Right now.
Oh, yeah. Got you. Yeah.
Take it easy, Nat. Good night.
Mhm.
Right.
Right. You can come out.
Look at that. I found a wild pandanus.
Oh, nice.
I think that's better.
Let's have a look.
Wild pandanus.
Have a
Likely
night, Ian.
implant.
Take care, mate.
No, don't
But
go.
that's stunning. And then he also found.
Oh, yeah, night, Ian. Catch you later, dude.
I'm just going to move the camera over one second.
No, you-
If one disappears. Oh, lovely.
Wild medius. It's either medius or diadema. I think diadema because it's in the Congo. That probably is a female as well, judging by abdomen size. A wild male Barrelestis, likely occidentalis. Aranius, with those red legs. I had one of these for sale at the show in
Oh,
Brighton. It's cool to see them in situ. Leah, wild olives.
Oh, cool.
I've got some wild olives in my fridge.
What kind though?
One's from Greece.
Yum. And wild Selenops, the bane of my existence. I hate these things. Can squeeze out any gap.
Oh.
Any other cool photos? Give me 1 second. Found an Agama male as well. Look at that.
Cool. Huh. The colours on that, that's just weird. So many colours.
Apparently it's a male one as well. Orange-headed Agama.
Nice. Oh, shit.
Yeah, he's cool. He's gonna send me some pictures of the Sicarius habitat so I can replicate that for a female at some point.
Just to give you an indication on how small this thing is.
Oh.
Okay. I don't know if this one's actually going to come out very well on camera at the moment, but we'll see. He's just hiding down there at the moment.
I love sorters today. They're so cute. I'd like to keep Portia, but I don't know why I'd get a supply of orb weavers to feed them. Yeah, look at that.
Would they not eat false widows? Because there's fucking tons of them around.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I don't know if they would recognize them as food. Well, they might do. I don't think they're fussy. Oh. Jay just disappeared. There we go. Did you get eaten by a Porsche? Because I've seen a couple pairs of them in the UK. Porsche, different species, but yeah, I don't want to be feeding my babies to them.
Unfortunately, both of them have gone to bed, so
Oh,
I'm now going to sit and just empty all the fruit flies that I've just seen. Bloody things. The trouble is with the fruit flies is the fruit flies end up in the webbing.
it doesn't help that they like to use the dead carcasses as decor on their web.
Yeah, exactly.
Spiders, right? You
I
should
mean,
see the graveyard in my Stegodipus dumicola communal. Oh my god.
with regards to that, I know full well it doesn't really matter because the fruit flies are dry, so you don't get anything as a result of having lots of carcass in there. It's just
Oh, nice one, BH.
Right.
Bastion's just gifted 5 memberships, Matt.
Oh, dude, legend. Absolutely legend. Let's have a look who's got those. Moon over Miami, Joe Cowlin, Windytron, Aaron, and Alan B. Thank you very much, Bastion. You are an absolute legend.
Yes, I have. Yes, put you back as well.
But yes, the carcasses, I do like to remove them because I just think they get unsightly and you can't really see where the spider is or where the live prey is and all that. But they don't actually matter because they're dry as anything. Those flies,
Yeah.
once they die. So they're only ever removed for us rather than anything else.
And anything, yeah. Because like with the Rhesus genus in Europe, Hannes has found Moavicus in the wild,
Mm-hmm.
the ones with those yellow heads, and he's always found them with dead carcasses around the webbing, and the theory is that it attracts other prey items.
Yeah, that would make sense, wouldn't it?
Oh, that's awesome, Leah. Nice one.
Very nice, Leah.
That's what I use for a lot of my friends that are dead inside. Like I keep them around so that new friends appear.
Stick them around.
Yeah, exactly.
Is it worth saying that if you're a member of Matt's channel, you get 15% off on Jackie's OnlyFans?
Piss off.
I tried to negotiate 25, but she wasn't having none of it. She said she's got an honest living somehow.
Gotta feed a few things. Oh yeah.
What we got here? Anything interesting going on?
Did you sort your share out, Leah?
Jay. Piece of rubbish. Right, you're not new or something. Bin. Bin. Stay.
Fucking Natalie just sent me a message saying you look more like Harry Hill. It's like, cheers, thanks. Fucking cheeky cow.
No, you gotta get some screws.
Oh dear.
Yeah, I need to get some high collared shirts apparently. So yeah, what else we got, Jeremy? Anything else? Anything else? Come on, you got some other controversy you want to bring up?
Trying to think off the top of my head, to be fair. Let me have a little scroll down. That one, that topic with the whole hybridizing and all that stuff came from Jackie, so shout out, Jackie.
Oh, yeah.
You mentioned that.
I think it's because I watched earlier, because I watched somebody called Tyler Nolan, and he's got things like, was it the Gaboon Vipers, and then you get the Gabinos and everything, and the Rhino Vipers. And obviously,
yeah.
they obviously mix them together, you know, they can, obviously it's recurring in the wild and everything, and I think they're gorgeous. I love them, me.
Here you go. I'll bring up one, Jeremy.
I love the colours, me.
Go on, dude.
Should the restrictions on DWA licenses be actually increased so that they make it even harder for people to keep DWA species?
I feel like some should come out of the DWA personally, and I feel like some are on the very tip of going into that, which I'm surprised that, not that I want it to happen, I'm surprised a lot of the Asian Scolopendra are not on the DWA list, you know, with Dahani subspinipes, with subspinipes having confirmed deaths and all. Though that was like, you know, very weird incidences. I think the one death was in the Philippines with a girl bitten in the neck.
Yep.
Oh, well, it's
by
quite close to
subspinipies.
the... Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, but for in the UK, like with regards to the requirements for you, if you personally wanted to pick up a DWA license, right?
Yes,
You
I do want one.
but all you have to do is literally at the moment is get your enclosure, get your room, get everything, proving that you have the capability if anything goes wrong, etc., etc., etc. But you're quite a sensible human being. There doesn't seem to be very much requirement on the person as opposed to the setup and the fact that they've got a secure environment. You could still have someone, have friends help you set up the right space, and you could still be not competent enough to possibly have the license given to you, but you'd still pass it and get it, if you see my point.
Yeah. So you think, so you would, so basically you're wanting to see like if they should be more strict in giving that license?
More scrutiny on who are being given it, maybe. I'm on the fence. I'm just here for the controversy.
No. You know, I do agree with that, you know, especially with the, not even just inverts, with just like larger animals in general, you know, with snakes and...
Put it this way. In my view, right, sorry to cut you off, but in my view, it only takes one or two instances of something going wrong,
and then everybody gets
for everybody.
Same brush.
Even the people who are the most careful keepers with licenses, that's it for them. Everybody gets done. Like things get removed, it's now no longer able to keep it. So
perfect example is my mate Hannah's. His town can't keep pokies, can't keep any venomous snakes, including cockroaches, can't keep any venomous scorpions but European venomous. So any buthids in Europe they can keep, but they can't keep like the African.
He's in Germany, isn't he? Yeah.
So his specific town.
Yeah, but it's not just the town, is it? They've got quite strict rules over the whole of Germany now.
All over now. So you think Germany is like the hotspot for everything spicy, but realistically, it's not anymore, and that's because of casual people just
Ham quite a bit.
Sorry,
must affect Ham, the show.
I don't think it does, because Hannah still says they have the venomous room and everything. And you know, Mark Stockman, he's in Germany and he's able to do anything he wants. So I think it is state to state or town to town differences.
Yeah,
but yeah. You know, with fuck ups like that, it could kill the hobby. You know,
could you imagine if also people who make the rules in a lot of countries aren't
know
the
what
people who have the understanding, and they don't necessarily rely on people. I mean, you can see what's happened over here with the XL bully thing. Regardless of whether you think that restrictions should have come in
Get
for
some
breeds or
water.
not, the people who actually make the decisions at the top are obviously not clued up enough to understand how to put these requirements in and what they're going to be assessing for saying this is this certain breed, this and the other. You can see that the way they've done this one, it's just been an absolute fiasco. But with regards to DWA, you've got people who are saying, oh, look, these 2 instances have happened, so now no one's able to keep that. And they might just put a blanket thing in for a certain genus as opposed to species. So you've got to be careful with not having mess ups. So therefore, should there not be more scrutiny up front to avoid outfall later or fallout later?
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I think there should be a very, very good vet system. But again, how can you vet someone if you don't know what you're vetting, kind of thing,
Hmm.
like you just said with the
Well,
XL bullies. Like if
okay.
yeah, you could get a vet, but if the vet specializes in mammalian,
Mm.
they don't know anything.
Let's take it along lines of like something completely nothing related, right? I'm a judo coach, right? I've been a judo coach for over 10 years, and I have to go and do reassessments 3 times every 2 years to keep my license for coaching. You have your like check, like you have your DBA check, which is or DBS check or whatever it's called now. You have
Yes,
that
DBA.
check that you've
Yes.
got that. You have to then go and do revalidation courses like 3 of them every 2 years, different things just to keep your license. DWA, do you have reassessment? Do you have people coming and making checks on you more regularly? What goes on with that?
I think what it is essentially you give up your privacy if you get the DWA. So essentially, whenever they want, they can just come in and no qualms or no notification of them
Right,
coming
okay.
just to
So
check on your animals. I think that's
which
the
would make sense.
aim.
That would be the best way of doing it, wouldn't it? Because
Yeah.
then they can sort of restrict, like rescind it and take it away from you if they need to.
Mm.
You know,
Which
you're not.
hopefully they're following the guidelines, or
This is
been
where the
able to
problem is.
make sure.
Have they got the staff? Have they got the people to be able to travel around and do these random checks, or is it a case of full well that someone's coming because there's one person and he was in Luton
That
yesterday? You're in
area kind of thing,
there.
yeah.
Yeah, and it's a difficult one, isn't it? Because you know, random checks are good. I mean, like they knock at your door and your alligator answers. You know that you're in for trouble. But it's yeah, I just think I don't know whether there needs to be more restrictions or what. I just thought it was an interesting point because there's been a lot of people looking at DWA in the last few weeks that I've seen on various social media stuff. I'm not
Yeah.
interested, to be honest with you. I'm not interested in it. It doesn't appeal to me. I'm quite happy with what I've got, and I think the even though I'm quite a competent human being, I just think the amount of risk compared to there's nothing actually I would really want that's on the list that I think, oh, I must have that to make me actually want to change my entire setup and rooms and security and all this.
Yeah. I mean, for me, I want all the venomous DWA trues because I just want Latrodectus. I love Latrodectus so much. They're so pretty, easy to keep. They're clumsy without their webbing, hence why I want Latrodectus, or at least some of them off the DWA, not the whole genus. Unfortunately, I do want some of the Buffidae. I want Loxosceles. I want Hexathalma, the other sand spider from South Africa. Yeah, paperwork.
The trouble is, Leah, I see a lot of people who I would class as the last word in your sentence that are quite
Yeah.
persistent, and a bit of paperwork possibly wouldn't put them off, but it doesn't mean they're sensible human beings.
I mean, it's also a thing with the inverts. People know everything. People will find out. So if you're getting in DWAs, which has happened before, a few years ago, a guy tried to get, I think it was one of the Androctonus species in, and saying that he had it under a pet license, and that details of the pet license went back to a shop, and the shop had no idea who the guy was.
Oh dear.
Yeah, so it's like, people find these things out. So even if you were to get the DWA, if you don't get those animals in properly, people will know. It's I think that's fair to say that a lot of things that go on in the hobby get spread around quite quickly.
You can take this, what's happened in the UK at the moment with the XL bully ban. Now, XL bully is not a breed; it's a type. So you end up having a list of criteria that meets that type. And you could argue, I had a Weimaraner across Staffy that would have met probably, I don't know if it was 5 things, but it would have definitely met about 3 of the number of things they had on the list. And it's like, okay, this dog was the best dog we've ever owned. So but the issue, all they've achieved here in the UK is to literally, it's almost been as divisive amongst human beings as Brexit was. It's absolutely crazy. All it's done is upset an awful lot of people on one side or the other side. It doesn't matter which side of the fence you're on, agree or disagree, it has split people, polarized them. And I do think ever since something like, I don't want to harp on about Brexit, you vote whichever way you want. It doesn't bother me. I'll still, talk to you unless you're a Wally. But people on both sides, people got so animated. I do not remember a time before Brexit where people would be so viscerally horrible to other people pre-Brexit as they do post-Brexit, just because of the way you voted on Brexit. And it seems that people are literally now far more angry at other people since then, and quite more prepared to be angry to other people since then as well. And the XL bully thing is another divisive one that's happened. And you can see people like fights and stuff like that breaking out. Protesters go out protesting, and people go out to protest, and it ends up fisticuffs. It's awful. But I think the trouble is, for me, sitting on the fence of the issue, I'm one of those people who sits there thinking, why are they causing so much distraction amongst that? Why do they want you fighting amongst yourselves? What's going on? What are they trying to sneak through behind
the
the
scenes? Yeah.
whilst this is the thing in the public eye. It just, what else is going on? What are they trying to get through there? So it's bad. And they do sort of like to bring up these divisive things, let the people fight amongst themselves. I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but it does get you thinking. You have to ask those questions, I think, because no one up there is that trustworthy, are they?
Right.
Anyway,
Especially politicians.
Channels disappearing. But yeah.
But I think another thing that would come if the DWA were to get stricter, I feel like the list would go up of what species would go onto it. I think they would look more into like what it's like, especially with the exposure the hobby has nowadays with YouTube, social media, and everything. They can see what species are being passed about, and that goes to another topic of these. I'm sorry, just bullshit posts and clickbait and all this shit. Or venomous spider bites me, handling an old world kind of thing. That doesn't help. And if they realize like what the potential for these animals are, if the DWA were to go up, Theraphoses, old world Theraphoses could easily go on the list. Some Scolopendra easily go on the list.
I do. I mean, you see. I understand people making clickbait, and I understand people like. I can't even think of his blooming name at the moment. But he's the guy who opened his tub and put his thumb in and let the salmon pierce come up and bite.
That guy, Tarantula, I think it is, isn't it?
He's. I can't think what his blooming name is. I know what his name is. I think it begins with a W. But he's the one who opened his mouth up and out come a scorpion, and he's had a centipede in his mouth and all sorts. He's a bit of a strange one. But when you look at those videos, all those shock factor videos, they're all on TikTok. But his YouTube, when you sit and watch a video on his YouTube channel, he actually really knows his stuff. And it's just a massive shame that those two things are at odds. But in his mind, he's getting exposure to then help the hobby. But the trouble is, most people will be on TikTok watching short form content, will never, ever, ever go and watch a half-hour video that he makes that's quite educational. So it's absolutely pointless. That's my view. I mean, please shoot me if I ever make a clickbaity title.
Okay.
Right? I'm holding
Clip
you
it, guys. Clip it. Get the timestamp.
Right? I will eat. I'll down a whole bottle of hot sauce or something like that if I ever make a clickbaity title. I'll do it live on stream.
But there's a whole thing with clickbait. Like, technically all thumbnails are clickbait, isn't it? Because you want them to look at the video. You just have like, kind of thing. But having a scorpion in your mouth or a scolopendrid in your mouth is not necessary for people
No.
to click the video. Like you could literally, for the general public, just seeing a big centipede on a picture will freak people out and get that. And some people have their morbid curiosity. There's centipedes that big. I've only seen the small ones in my garden. Let me click that video and have a look. That's why with my thumbnails I have like a detailed macro clip. Of a photo of one of my spiders and stuff. My Thelcopsis species black. Who knows those huntsmen? Gold black huntsmen. I've got almost 1,000 views on that video, and that's just from
Who's the other guy that did that with the spider? I know the spiders are classic. He had the spider come out of his mouth. He always wears the khaki coloured stuff. He's got like the big zoo thing that he does. Encounters. A guy in America. And he had the big spider coming out of his mouth, and he's like, "Whoa!" But he does a lot of educational stuff with a woman on his channel.
I know Cody Peterson, but it won't be him. So
it's crazy. Why do it? Jay Brewer, that's the guy. No, he's got it. Yeah,
Jay Brewer.
Yeah.
Oh, Jay. Oh, him.
Like, why?
Yeah, I don't like that guy.
Why would you do it? It just makes no sense to me.
Yeah, Jay. Yeah, he's a bit of a
prehistoric pets. That's the one. See, the trouble is, he does an awful lot of good content. He does an awful lot of good stuff for reptiles and things like that. And then he sits there and goes and has a bloody spider come out of his mouth and just undoes the amount of respect a lot of people who have for him. Do you know what I mean? It's crazy. Because all it does is make you think.
Tangents on Earth. Yeah, exactly, Leah. He's a cockwomble. I'm not going to go into my opinions on why I don't like that guy.
Exactly.
I know it is.
But it's crazy. It's like these people. They may have a bit of a. I'll tell you what. No, I know which tangent you're going to go down. Right, you're going to go down the Calciatum route. Are you talking about the person?
Calciatum, yes. No. This is still with Jay. This is still with Jay.
Oh, right. Okay.
With his fat snakes and clear mouth rot and cutting eggs open as Pokemon cards. That kind of thing.
No, it's just bullshit.
It's a dick.
People can quite happily, like we were talking about this the other day, and it's not in respect to like them being bad, but when Dark Den used to be sat in his room, I'm sure his content where he was doing rehouses of all the new additions he got and people were buying, he had a wish list, people were buying him spiders, he had deliveries and all this and the other. His channel was very wholesome with regards to people would watch it because they felt they could really relate. As he's grown, he's had to produce videos for the bigger audience. And unfortunately, it does change people's content. It does. You can't get away from it. And when people don't agree with the spiders and the do they swim, do they sink, and all this, that, and the other, I'm pretty sure he probably wouldn't have made that video if he was still in his flat. But as soon as you hit those 1 million subscribers or whatever it is he's got, all of a sudden you're making content for the masses. And unfortunately, people do change it. It's like it says Sniper Wolf or whatever she's called. She went and started like doxing people, and that I'm sure she wouldn't have made that sort of content had she not got millions of followers. That she just thought that she needed to be more controversial to get, because people see unfortunately, the algorithm on YouTube is a clear correlation between success and controversy and pay. And as soon as you start earning the big bucks and you're now doing YouTube full time, the more controversy you get, it doesn't matter if it's positive or negative or whatever feedback you're getting, they will still push you on the algorithm and you will still earn more money from it.
It is sad.
Yeah. There you go. Charlotte's actually met him.
I feel like it's such a wasted opportunity, especially for the education. I know YouTube is not an education program.
Education or not, it's going over the top.
Yeah.
And then it makes the hobby look bad.
I mean, he disappoints me massively because if it wasn't for his videos, I probably wouldn't have got into this hobby.
It is very hard to expand on that. I mean, I remember watching his videos and actually finding him because I wanted to make. Everyone was making. He was making the glass enclosures using the acrylic, not acrylic, the silicone and all this and the other, and holding it up against the wall and making sure it's square, letting it set, and his glass enclosures were good. And then when he started doing the acrylic ones, and he was actually using that acrylic weld, And I started looking into that because I found him from that because I wanted to know how I could make my own acrylic, because I can get the acrylic quite cheap, and I wanted to make it where it was actually fixed and not rubber banded together. But that stuff that you have to use is carcinogenic. And I was like, I don't really fancy having anything that causes cancer, like me breathing it in, holding it, and doing this just to make acrylic enclosures. I'll just buy the one that have rubber bands and use silicone on them. But
Exactly.
he did well with that customizing his enclosure stuff at the beginning, and it was good. It was interesting, you know. And his skateboards and all his cans he used to have in his flat and all that, I found it like quite. It was more like a vlog.
Yeah.
And now his tortoise, but now he's moved into this new place. I haven't seen any of his tortoise content or anything. He was meant to be building a thing outside for it. Not seen anything for that. He's been on that aquarium for months, hasn't he? It's just I just think it's. I haven't watched his content for a while, and for me, it's not because I dislike it. It's just that I've lost interest in where he's going at the moment.
Got really boring.
Time.
My thing is just seeing the potential that he could do with the big enclosures he has, and it's just wasted. And he got all these. I tuned into it because I saw posts on Facebook. So he got a bunch of isopods from one of the Terrastica or Ham or whatever the shows are called. So he got a bunch of
The
different
ones in
species
Budapest.
monkeys, for the junglarium thing that he has, which it's cool. Having a bunch of tropical isopods would be quite nice, but he got groups of 10 of each type in a jungle area. How big is that bloody enclosure? He's got a fucking waterfall in there, for Christ's sake.
Yeah,
Those
it's
are gonna scatter. They're not going to breed. And people warned him in the comments, do not put the isopods in there. They're going to get spread apart. They're not going to breed quickly, blah, blah, blah. Cultivate them, then put them in. Basically what people were trying to say. He still put them in. And what happened? They got eaten by false widows that ended up in the enclosure. Even the duckies. I think the thumbnail, one of those is a rubber ducky hanging from the false widow's web.
Yeah, and this is the trouble. This is the trouble because, like, I mean, Phil said to me, and I think you did as well when I first got the isopods. It's like the one thing we'll say to you is put them in something that is small where they all stay together so they can find each other to breed. Because if they don't, they spread out. Even in some of those small setups that are only like probably 10 centimeters by 12, you can have a colony of 10 that don't do well because they still struggle to actually locate each other on a permanent basis. It's crazy. But yeah, there are a few big people like that I sort of gradually have moved away from because the content didn't seem to be sitting in their lounge, being their best mate, watching what they're doing, sort of type feel. Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah, that relatability slowly leaches away, like you said. It's a shame.
Yeah, and I think people watch stuff that they do find relatable. You also watch stuff to learn, but I watch stuff to learn and find relatable. So there's two different types of market there for me. But
it's like the other night when I was on Phil's live and we were discussing Brian Barczyk. It's like, I don't agree with his practices now, but back in the day, I just watched him because, like, it was entertaining content for a young guy like me at the time. I was like, what, 12 when I first started watching him?
I would definitely.
And from that, learning, other areas of husbandry, and now looking back, it's like, I'm glad that was introduced because then I know a basis of where my husbandry is nowadays.
There's no getting away from the fact that he had a massive net positive effect on an awful lot of people in the world, keeping interest and education. You wouldn't wish what happened to him on anybody in the world, but at the same time, I personally wasn't a huge fan of the video side of things because I did feel like a lot of it was very clickbaity and a lot of it was, again, for views. And things like the Ferrofosa, we had it on a table that was like about 2 foot by 2 foot, and he pulled this Sturmey out and it almost fell off about 3 times, and he was properly sensationalizing it, and then did his hand straight through the Balf setup. And it's just like, why are you going into a Balf setup to destroy the webbing just to show the slings off in there? It was just it didn't.
Tarantula did it. That's why.
Yeah. It didn't. I don't understand people destroying Balfouri setups just to show Balfouri off. It doesn't make sense to me. But hey ho. But yes, I mean, you cannot still, even, you know, my opinion of the videos still doesn't take away from the fact that the guy, absolute legend, and definitely, like I say, had a net positive effect on the world for reptiles and spiders and everything he got involved in.
Yes. And both video and practices weren't always the best. But
Okay, so
yeah.
Tarantula, Mark, he's from Poland, and he's quite good friends with a few of us. He's a brilliant guy. His channel's amazing. His channel is amazing. He does some good stuff. He's a really nice guy. And hopefully he's coming over to the UK soon, or at some point, and we're gonna get him to some shows and stuff. And also there's going to be a live and a couple of video collaborations that I'm doing with him soon as well at some point. So yeah, watch this space. Mark's an awesome guy, and he puts across his videos in a really nice way. He's got one of those accents you can listen to though, hasn't he? You know, you can sit when who hasn't watched his Emernia story from his pairing and the breeding project he had? It's like he sits there and you're just like, yeah, I could listen to this at night. He's just got a calming voice. But he's got a lot on his plate in his moment, so he's quite tied up. So Poland's going through quite a difficult time at the moment with the change of government and stuff.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah, he was on Scott's Live a while back. He's just really busy at the moment. Otherwise, we'd have had him on more. Yeah, but you should subscribe to him. Jay's putting out more content these days as well, aren't you, Jay?
Yeah.
Subscribe to Jay's channel. Jay's channel's good.
Yeah.
The more people who subscribe to Jay as well, the more chance you have of him getting his backside interview and getting more content out.
This is also true.
You got to feed the bear. Yeah, you do need to make videos, Leah, and you say that all the time.
She does.
Definitely need to be more consistent.
I've got one more video in my backlog to release this week, and then I'm out of content again.
Oh dear. Well, you better put your finger out and get bloody.
Did anyone enjoy the Seraphosa video today?
Yeah.
I haven't watched it yet.
That's all right. For those that have watched it, did you notice the subtle difference to the format that I've done over the last couple of weeks with regards to the chapters, basically?
Yes, I did actually. Yes, I did actually see it.
Yeah, I'm trying a new thing. I'm trying to do that and make it a little bit more watchable with regards to chapter in the segments of the video, and we'll see if people get positive feedback to it.
So I haven't noticed a difference, but that does just mean you're going to get an extra view because I've got to go back and watch it to now actually sort of look for a difference.
There you go.
Maybe you don't, because like I said, I've said this to you before. I think the things that you don't notice are the things that take me most of the time to do, like transitions and stuff like that. So if you're not noticing them, if you said to me, the transition you did here was like, that was a bit clunky, it's because I've done it bad. But if you don't notice the transition, then that means it's done well. So I'd rather you not notice things than notice things, if that makes sense. It's a bit of an
I always notice sometimes little bits because obviously, like, if somebody changed the music or different, I'll be like, oh, that's new, and ooh. But I did notice because
one of the things,
it's not done it that way before. That's different.
One of the things I like about your videos, Matt, and it harks back to what I think of like Petco and the Dark Den.
Mm-hmm.
The difference is, like, you and I are friends. But I can watch your video before you and I were friends, like chatted in WhatsApp groups and whatever else. But I could sit and watch your videos, and it is just like watching a mate on screen talking you through what they're doing and keeping you updated. And I used to like that about Petco.
There's
so to me, I I don't look at your videos in a critical way.
Mm.
I just enjoy. I enjoy sitting there and you telling me what's going on and what you're doing and why you're doing it. And that's
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
for me, I mean, Mark's very much the same. I always feel like when you watch Mark's videos, it feels like you're sitting on the other side of his table, like chatting to him.
Yeah.
And it's that in the lounge type feel, like, you know, he could be doing a rehouse for you while you're there having a cup of tea with him or whatever. But I think for me, whether or not I do it intentionally or not, I do it because I'm just trying to catalogue what I'm doing. So it's a case of I can look back on it. If people enjoy that, then that's great. It's almost more like a vlog style of the journey rather than just trying to make sure I've got a specific. I have never ever put a care and husbandry video out because I'm very conscious that I don't want to give people information about the animals that I keep.
Thanks, Steve.
Because if you did something I said you should do and then your spider passes away,
You feel responsible.
exactly. So I don't do care and husbandry, even though I know what the care and husbandry is. It's a parameter, a range of parameters. I don't want to say this. Maybe I should do a video about why I don't do care and husbandry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's why I turn around and say this that I do is not gospel. There's always other people. You can always sit there and pick out different bits of information, and as well, things can be different in different areas, up and down the country, different parts of the world. What will work for one person won't work for another.
Paul's channel is really good as well. Tarantula Ramblings. He actually started out as an ant keeper. He had
cool.
ant ramblings, and he then got a couple of tarantulas. And I actually met him for the first time down in one of my local shops, and we became quite good friends. And then he started getting a few more, and he was watching my channel and stuff like that. And then he decided to start up Tarantula Ramblings, and that sort of has massively overtaken the other one, I believe. He's doing really well with it. His stuff's good. If you don't know Paul from Tarantula Ramblings, go and check his channel out, because he does a lot of stuff and sits in his little room that he's got set up for all his spiders and stuff like that. And he's very, very much close over the shoulder type viewing. Yeah, he's got some good things going on. He's a nice guy as well, so he deserves some support.
Sean, I would put in that category as well. Sean's Boots.
Yep, definitely. Sean's one of those channels that when I started watching Sean yonks and yonks ago, like, and Mark will remember this. All of a sudden Sean disappeared off of planet Earth for a while, and we were trying to get hold of him and trying to find him for ages. And he actually came back and started redoing all his videos and stuff like that. And he actually mentioned me in the video, saying like that it meant a lot for him to have people come out and sort of check up on him and make him sort of get back into doing the videos and stuff. But Sean's awesome. I met him for the first time at Bristol. He come to the Bristol show, and he's as nice in real life as he is on his videos. He's an absolutely awesome guy. Yeah. Oh shit. And he stinks. No, Sean's awesome. Sean is a really nice guy.
No, he is.
And the thing is,
he's got a lot of knowledge and he's got a great collection.
And the thing is, he's got a very similar sense of humor. And whenever I make friends, it's the sense of humor that I hold like in the highest regard. If you can take my dry sarcasm and you can come back with exactly the same dry sarcasm, then we're good.
I'm the same. If you can put up with my bullshit humor, then you know.
Exactly. Yeah. If there's one thing that the extended group of friends that we've got, everybody's sense of humor is on par.
It is.
That's because you're all nuts and I'm normal.
Fuck off.
Apart from
You wish, Mark. You're completely off the trolley. Never mind.
we keep Jackie on the friend circle because one day she'll break and just start twerking on screen. We know it.
No, she will not.
And then Jeremy's going to have to shut his camera down for half hour.
Why?
Oh,
Not on the live. There's playback for a reason, right?
oh my God. I'm disturbed.
Jesus Christ. Oh,
Wow, Mark. Harsh. Oh, Erin, yeah. Hold on a minute, Jay. If Jay's on the channel front, I'm sure he can plug you, Erin, if you can find it.
Yeah, I'm just trying to find it.
Dave, if you watch any of Jackie's streams where she's had a few drinks, then you've got far more chance.
look, she's in denial. She's not even looking at the chat.
Oh, shut your mouth, you. I'm trying to fucking feed things here.
Drunk Jackie streams are the
I
best.
still think that, mate.
I've yet to tune into a drunk Jackie stream yet.
I still think that Dave should get a channel up and running.
Yeah,
I got told I nearly drank the entire bottle of bloody JD to myself. But Simon's like, "Oh, there's only that much left," and I'm like, "Oh."
The one thing I would say that the hardest part about doing YouTube is the time. People don't realise. Jesus, Leah.
Well, Leah.
Oh no.
I would definitely say that the time is thing people possibly underestimate. Some people manage to record a video and get it out edited and out the door in 10 minutes, half an hour.
Really?
My Therafosa video was probably about 18 hours of editing.
Oh no, I couldn't do that. But
18 hours.
Yeah, but the reason it is because I do everything like I do everything a little bit old school. I don't use CapCut or Canva or anything like that app wise. I've got a certain number. I like to be in complete control of what I'm doing with regards to transitions and everything. I'll take for example my new intro. You know, the heart beating thing, and it fuzzes out, goes side to side. Every single frame of that was put together individually, where it's moving, blurring out, then zigzagging, and the static and all that. That's all done. I didn't just use a transition to do that. That's all manually made.
Yeah.
That intro probably took me about.
Stop doing that, dude. I can't lie.
The intro took me about 3 hours, I think, to make and be happy with. Yeah, that's what I enjoy doing. I enjoy doing the editing side.
Oh, Jay.
Jesus.
Well, if she's going to advertise it, she has to get it right.
But yeah, so like I enjoy the editing, but it does take time, and I think filming as well. I mean, a lot of my stuff, half of it's filmed in 4K, half of it's not. So I then have to make sure that they're comparable on all the lighting and stuff like that. I mean, you talk to Richard, the amount of hours and the production value he puts into his stuff, it's crazy. The color match and everything else. And I know that other channels, like I know Robbie was trying to get a lot of his stuff in the same way with the coloring and all that. And I haven't gone down that road yet. My stuff it takes its time because I like to make sure things are right.
You little shit.
None of the links are working.
I'd love
None of the links are working.
Bolties, you mean the OnlyFans ones, or the actual normal proper YouTube ones?
I think we know what he's trying to look for.
Let's have a look.
Support Jay in any way he can, isn't that right, Bolty?
What are you doing, you little shit? Oh, you've shed.
Onlyfeet.com, Matt the Rookie. I actually do have an OnlyFeet account, actually. The links are working for me for the YouTube. It's not Jay's first rodeo.
I've ridden plenty of shit before.
I've actually been to a place that I'll tell you what, I'd have loved to have been your friend when I was in Dallas. I would have video called you from this bar we went to, and I would have just loved to have seen your face. It was like walking. It wasn't Police Academy, right? Well, but it wasn't the Blue Oyster Bar. It was like a place called Billy Bob's, which is the world's largest honky tonk, whatever that means. But anyway, Dallas, downtown Dallas, into the old cobble bit, parking this car park. You go inside the bar, and it's pool tables everywhere, and you've got lots of cowboys in very tight denim trousers. They're very, very large belt buckles that their granddaddy has, killed a bear or something, and they've got it on the claw on their belt buckle. The big hats and all this. It's the sort of thing where you imagined all of a sudden anyone to just snap a pool cue over their knee and start fighting with them. Massive bar. You've got this Hand of Fame wall where all these country and western singers have been putting all their hands on there. You've got Mel Haggard playing on stage. And Mel Haggard's like as big in America as Dolly Parton is for country and western stuff. He was playing randomly on stage, and then you turn right and there's a flicking indoor ball riding arena. But it's actually not a mechanical ball, actual ball with people riding these balls around at the side of the bar. It's like, what the fuck? But it was just the cowboys in the entrance with all their denim and all this. It was a sight. Sounds like where I live. Whereabouts are you, Bolty? Oh, yeah, I've got a couple of friends. I've got a couple of friends who live in. It's not around Wyoming, but I've got friends in Arizona. I've got friends in Idaho. The company I work for is actually based in Omaha, Nebraska. Big old place. People underestimate the amount of space that's in the US. Yeah, big old place. Are they your crickets, Jackie?
Yep.
They're loud, aren't they?
Yeah, little shits there.
My ones don't tend to make noise for very long because when they go into the assassin's enclosure, they tend to shut up. Even if they're not being eaten, they tend to be quiet. It's funny. You can put a noisy cricket inside there and it'll stop making a noise. And you got to wonder whether it's because the assassin bugs are going to take it over. Oh, nice. Your assassins doing okay, or
who?
Yours?
Yeah. Like I said the other way, I mean, I'm down to 3, but the 3 are doing okay.
Oh, what? The ones I gave you down to 3?
Yeah.
Oh no. Oh, I'll give you some more, mate. I've got some more. I've got loads. I've got too many. I know,
considering you complained that they wouldn't breed, and look what's happened.
Oh, ridiculous. I thought they were going to just be there for a little while and pass away and all this and the other, and they've just gone crazy. It's ridiculous. I don't know what's gone on. I have had an awful lot pass away, but I have, I've still got more being produced. So every time I see one that's past, like a nymph, like centimetre size, all of a sudden I've got about 10 more babies. So I don't know whether there's enough food going in there, or whether they're predating on each other, or whether natural selection or some just pass. Whenever they pass away, do you find your ones have almost got the abdomen looks deflated at the back, like concaved a little bit?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what that is. Leah might know what that is. Whether they just dry out very quickly or whatever, I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, I give them a spray of water, every week. There's a patch of damp soil, so they've got humidity, a bit of humidity from a certain area. And Aaron brings back a little tube of don't know what they are, like blue bottle type houseflies from work, and I feed them on the flies, and they quite like the flies.
Have you tried crushing a head of cricket or anything?
The what?
Crushing a head of a cricket.
I won't have crickets in the house. I can't stand crickets.
Night, Dave. Catch you later, dude.
They don't tend to. Mine don't do well with locusts because the locusts can get away and they hang upside down on the mesh and get out of the way of them. But the crickets tend to be more stupid. So I do crush. I don't normally do crickets, but I get crickets for them, crush the head of a few. I put a few in normal, and then I crush the head of a few and put them near the nymphs. And the nymphs sort of like you get 5 or 6 on there on one cricket. But I actually use this almost not every day, but probably every 2 days, and give it a mist in one of the corners so that you get like that humidity spike in that corner on, as well as the water. But yeah. Oh, we'll figure it out. I mean, if you want some more, you can have some more. It's not a problem.
I'd love some more, but
they may come with some free
pressure.
fungi or stick insects. But no, you're more than welcome, mate. Yeah, we'll sort some out. I'm seeing you in a few weeks anyway, and so are you going to Seas?
No, I won't be.
No, okay. So I'll see you on the 10th anyway, though. Ah, fair enough.
Yeah, we're really looking around for places that we can move to. And at the moment, there's quite a few places around here within our budget.
Yep, fair enough.
So I really just need to get some money saved up so I can actually move.
Yeah. Oh, that's all right, Aaron. You don't have to apologise, mate. If you got to go, you got to go. Yeah, once things are sorted out, mate, I'm sure you'll be all right. It takes an awful lot of stress out of life, doesn't it, once you've got those sort of things sorted. Doesn't matter who you are or what your budget is. People always live to their means, and people suffer the same stresses. It doesn't matter if you're earning $5,000, no grand, or $100,000. I think everyone suffers the same stress, same thing stresses people out, just on different reasons.
Yeah.
And I do sort of say that people on like 100 are in the same boat, because I think the only disparity now between people is the uber rich millionaires and above, and the rest.
Yeah, the rest.
Yeah, move to Wales, Joe.
I mean, I quite like Wales. It'd be a long commute for Aaron to get to London Zoo for work there.
Yeah, maybe. I'll tell you what, though. What about if he went to North Wales and he went and worked at the Welsh Mountain Zoo? They're cool. The Welsh Mountain Zoo is awesome.
I mean, I think if he ever left London, he'd quite like to go to Chester. Yeah,
Chester's nice. Chester's not that far. Chester's about an hour and a half from Connor.
Yeah.
You've still just got to go across the A55. I go to Chester quite a bit because there's 2 climbing centres that I go to there. One at Ellesmere Port, and the other one, I'm not sure, but it's actually in Chester, but it's called Boardroom Climbing. Night, Aaron.
Night, Aaron.
Night, Aaron.
Did you see in the news that Universal Studios, or the people that own Universal Studios, have bought something like 294 acres of land near Bedford?
Yeah.
So there's going to be a theme park potentially going up.
You're getting some food in a minute. Just wait.
I know that was a random comment, but
things I do for bloody wolf spiders, I swear to God, man.
What, you dancing naked for them or something?
Well, I just went to check on my ped Lentipine giant, and this is where I've ended up. Hold on.
You want this? There you go. You got 2 now.
Shit.
Ah, right, okay. He ran away, did he?
Yeah. Yeah, I tried to feed her, and the ungrateful little fuck who just decides to run out of the tub and go sprinting across my floor. So
Yeah.
I will be back.
That's what they do.
Oh, wait.
It's quite amazing that the smallest person in the friendship circle has the fastest animals. It's like...
No comment.
I think there's a rumour, Jay, that I think Jeremy might be seeing about whether or not he can get down on the 10th as well.
Oh, that'd be cool.
I'll be there one way or another.
Yeah,
well, depending where you're coming from, just let us know, because I'm meeting Natalie in London to go over to Matt's.
Whereabouts in London?
I don't know yet.
Okay. Let me know. If it's St. Pancras, I can meet you guys there, no problem.
They'll be coming down via the Fenchurch line, I think. So.
Yeah, there's some strikes or something on that day, isn't there?
It's ridiculous. So there's rail replacement service on the London Liverpool Street to South in Victoria line, but it's not just that. It's actually anything out of London Liverpool Street going to Colchester or anywhere like that. That line is having rail replacement services every Saturday and Sunday, or some Saturdays, but every Sunday from now until April. And the only reason I know it's up till April is because they haven't put May, June, July on the calendar on their site yet. So it's every weekend for the foreseeable future. It's ridiculous. So you have to go via Fenchurch, which has got no work at all. And arguably, that's the line that needs it because it's the older line and it's not as great. I reckon they're cleaning it with a toothpick. That's why it's taking so long, because it's been like this for 2 years. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. Shows are just going to be a pain in the ass to get to for everyone. Then.
Can I say to everybody that's donated to my GoFundMe, a massive thank you. And I really appreciate it.
You can put the link in if you want, mate.
And plug the reason.
Well, the reason is, since our granddaughter's been born, we had an argument with Jordan's ex, and she says from that day she was going to tell her daughter that both me and Sandra were dead as she was growing up. So we've never got to see her or anything, but now because Jordan's finished with her and he's got the chance to get it sorted so that we can get visitation rights and that. But yeah, it's been horrible because we, like I say, we've never seen her. We've missed out on so much since she's growing up, you know. So we just want to have the chance to see her.
Be in your life, basically.
Yeah. Thanks, Leah.
It's basically, it's like that people are using the kids as a tool, and I don't see why they should do that. It's just wrong.
Jackie,
I know, I'll do that, and I'll be a right nasty. So,
Jackie, even on the day that she was born, they asked me to take clothes up to the hospital, and they wouldn't even let me in to see her.
That's ridiculous.
You know, so.
Yeah, there is. I know there is grandparents' visitation rights. Anyway, I already knew that a long time ago.
I mean, I've never really told anybody the story about why, only Leah and Ellie. But, you know, now we've got a chance to get something sorted, you know, and get her in our life. It'll be awesome. Would be absolutely amazing.
Don't blame you in the slightest. But like I said, it's just the way they've got, it's just used her as a tool, and you don't do that. It's just pissing about with a life.
We've never been able to send her a birthday card, Christmas card. She wouldn't accept presents off us for her, anything.
Very immature, some people are. Do you want this?
And I mean, she's almost, well, she's 5 this year now.
Really? Yeah. This. Take the cricket.
Exactly, Leah. That's what we want, a chance.
Yeah, people are awful sometimes.
Yes, they are.
Jeremy, going back to something I forgot to mention to you an absolute age ago. You know, we were talking about the exo, whatever they are, spiny stick insects.
The Tiratum.
Yeah, the only reason I knew the genus of that is because did you see what happened this morning that Phil had to deal with? That's awful.
Yeah, I saw the picture.
That's the only reason I knew what the genus was. It looked like it had actually tried to twist round that bramble. It was awful. It was definitely caught, like wrapped, wasn't it? Horrible.
I feel because when the females get mature, they get really heavy. for what
Yeah.
like a really heavily built invert. So
Hmm.
she probably tried to like move, got hooked, and then tried to flick herself off.
It does
Bless
worry
her.
me with the bramble. Like I've got those. As soon as I saw that, I've gone up and I've checked all 4 of my Eurocancer
Hmm.
because you
I
never even
feel
think
you
of that sort of
would
thing
be a
happening.
bit better. No, I've not with phasmids actually.
Claire, I love your kids.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's definitely a freak accident. I feel it's because they're quite soft bodied for a phasmid. The God, Exotosoma genus are quite
Yeah,
soft bodied, especially in the abdomen. Whereas your
Eurocancers.
they're quite solid.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. That's why I didn't think it'd be possible because those things are like,
Hmm.
and then you've got the Sungaias, which just look too thin-bodied to actually have that happen.
Hmm.
They're too nimble. Whereas the Eurocancer,
Yeah.
they're big. I had one molt. I witnessed one molt the other day. It was hanging half out, and I caught the second half of it. I didn't bother recording it because I had to go to work. But yeah, it's gone from the males. They're like that dark green, and it's just
Yeah.
gone from the green to the brown. So it's
Wow,
mature now, I
nice.
think.
Has he got those big beefy back legs with those
Yeah.
massive spines on them? Oh God, they hurt.
Yeah. They're the bane of my existence at the moment with the bramble side of things because we are cutting down half a bush of bramble almost weekly at the moment just to feed them. And I've had a load of babies for the Sungaias. I need to take all the Sungaias out, and I don't want to be doing this, but I need to take the Sungaias out, empty the phanarium, and replace the soil with just tissue paper. So I have a pot with the bramble in the water, and then I can see the eggs and I can take them out because the soil is coming out. The soil is going in the freezer, and then after a few days in the freezer, it's getting roller pinned and then going in the bin, unfortunately, because it's unethical for me to keep letting them breed that much. I think I've given over 250 away, like free, and I've got probably still 80 or 90 at the moment.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, and I started with 3 last year.
And people wonder why I hate phasmids now. Like Steve, Phil, you would know that bloody bush that's just right by my house. I still can't be bothered to go collect it. I hate bramble that much. Fuck bramble. Can't stand stuff.
I'll pop a link into the chat.
Honestly.
Aaron, you saying Jay's got an old pipe? That's tickled me. That has not his pipe, but the comment. Just to be clear, Jay's pipe has never tickled me.
Come here. No.
Bless. Right. I'll let Jay post the link into there, but I'm going to shut the stream down, guys. We'll give it till 10 to. We're going to have it 5 minutes because it's already 10 to midnight.
Jeez. Yeah, do you want this?
It's meant to be an early one. These days, the time goes fast on these streams, dude.
I do.
We just end up
really
having
do.
these good conversations, and the time just flies. It's ridiculous.
Cute.
I love it. It's like when I did my podcast with Hannah, we messaged each other. I was like, "Oh, how long do you want to go for? Oh, should we aim for about 45 minutes?" Yeah, we ended up almost going 2 hours.
Jeez, man. Yeah, it happens, doesn't it? It does happen.
Talked to that guy for ages.
The trouble is, it's like there are people where you could ask a question and you could just listen to them ramble on about that topic for hours and hours and not even interrupt them and just give them almost like pointers to keep them talking and ask them a follow-on question. It just lets it roll. I mean, as you know, with things that could be going on, I may talk to that certain person at the show and say, look, as a favour, honestly, I don't mind that being used, but could you possibly do me the honour of jumping on a stream at some point?
I reckon he'd be down for that, dude.
I do as well.
Want this? Want this one?
It's a case of I think he would. I think it's just him finding the time.
Yeah. and
Have
having
I
them
ticked-
both on at
have
the
I
same
ticked
time
it
because
hard?
they bounce off each other.
Yeah, yeah.
Just for the record, Matt's never been anywhere near my pipe.
Oh,
The
now
closest-
you say something.
The closest we've got is about a foot.
Yeah.
Why social
Which in
distancing?
my case is only 2 inches away.
But yeah, it's all good. But yeah, no, it's been a wonderful stream, guys. I've appreciated everyone coming on again and supporting it. I do
always
appreciate everyone.
Ian's like,
Pleasure.
Appreciate everyone in chat watching. It's nice to see some new faces in the chat. People who don't tend to come in very often, people who haven't been in before at all, and obviously all the regulars. Obviously, I appreciate every single person supporting the things that we all do, not just my channel, but everybody's channel. It's nice to see the community supporting each other and stuff like that. And so I just want to thank you all for that. And on that note, guys, hope you have a lovely evening, what there's left of it. And are you live, Jackie, on Thursday, or is it not this week?
Not this week, not yet.
Okay. We've got probably Chris, I believe, will be live on Friday night. I know he's got one scheduled. Mark will be Saturday. And then who's Sunday, Mark?
I think it's Leah.
Right. You'll be able to find it if you know who they are anyway.
Yeah.
And then obviously Phil will probably be live Monday night anyway. So with that note, guys, thanks a lot for watching. And
Thanks,
we'll
everyone.
catch you again on the other side. Cheers, guys.
Night.
Bye. Bye.